Welcome, guys, to Fun Football Podcast. It is not Cheesy Bear. I'm going to get rid of that, but we do have an awesome show for you guys. I'm Isaac with obviously the Fun Football Podcast, and I've got my dad here, and we are going to not only talk Packers, we're going to get into all of the playoff games. I'm really excited. I've got some other fun questions for him.
Hey Isaac, how you doing?
Good, man. You're gonna have some questions in the comments. I don't know if the wifey's watching, but some dudes on Twitter said they were gonna have some questions for you. How are you doing, Dad?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing good.
Thanks for doing this with me, man. I appreciate you. We may have some others hopping on. Yeah, we might have some others hopping on. Okay, we're gonna talk the Saturday games. What's your quick thoughts on the Packers? We'll deep dive into that game shortly.
I think the Packers could pull the upset.
You think so?
Yeah.
See, my thought is they have a chance. What's your biggest key for them to pull off this upset?
Slow down Barkley and keep him contained too, and keep him from having explosive plays of 30 plus, 20 plus yards, 30 plus yards in the game. I think that we have to focus on Barkley. And we have to contain him and keep him from getting to 150 yards rushing against us.
Exactly. I mean, how many did he get the first game? It was a lot.
I don't remember. That first game was the first game of the season, right?
Yeah, you know what? Let's hit it, actually. Let's hit that game really quick. We'll do a little sneak peek into this Packers game, but then we'll hit the other ones. I want to make sure people can comment. I messed up on Tuesday's show. Also, please, I'm going to start doing this more often. Please like and subscribe and share the show with your friends. I've got a lot of fun plans for this season, for the off season, for the rest of the playoffs. I'll be doing short takes on YouTube of every single game, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And then I'm going to be doing mock draft season. That'll be awesome. And then next season, I've got some fun plans for you guys. There'll be a lot more fantasy football stuff, even in the off season. So we're going to have a lot of fun. But please like and subscribe on YouTube. And if you're watching on Twitter or Facebook, share with your friends, please. Okay, before we get going, you said, I like it too, you said that Saquon Barkley is the key. Let's check out what happened in that first game. From what I recall, Saquon had like 3 touchdowns against us. It was a little rough. The Eagles, after a slow start, they just eked out that win against us. And a lot of Packer fans like to make the excuse that it was in Brazil, but in that first game, Saquon ran all over us, and it was rather unfortunate because offensively, that was like Jaden Reed's biggest game. And I think it was actually his biggest game of the season. Wow. He scored 3 touchdowns against us. Love got injured in the final minute, if you recall.
Yeah.
He was the first player to score 3 touchdowns in his Eagles debut, Saquon, since Trell Owens 20 years ago in 2004, because this was 2024. Love had signed that 4-year, $220 extension. He was kind of up and down. Barkley rushed for 109, scored on an 18-yard touchdown catch, and he had 11-yard TD run and a 2-yard TD run. So he had 3 touchdowns. Hurts was effective with 20 out of 34 for 278 yards and 2 TDs and 2 picks. Brown had 119 yards himself and a 67-yard TD. Jaden Reed had that 33-yard jet sweep touchdown and a 70-yard reception, which was the longest completion of Love's career. Reed just blew up. Love was only 17 to 34 in that game, and then he got banged up. So, what's up, man?
All right.
So, we'll dive deeper into it, but I think I'm with you. I think the key is Saquon. How do we get quickly, and then we're going to go into this game. It'll be the 4th one we hit because we're going to go in order. That was your request, and I like it. How do we I'm going to put the Packer hat on too in a second. How do we get points on this Philadelphia D, Dad? They are first in they're first in yards, second in points in the NFL. And they've got a lot of playmakers. How do we get a rhythm going without
your guy did really good this year. The guy you wanted the Packers to pick, what's his name? He's a safety, I believe. He's starting for Philadelphia.
Oh, Deshaun Cooper.
Just is that his
Cooper
name?
Deshaun.
Huh?
Cooper. No, yeah.
Cooper DeJean?
Cooper Deshaun.
And so he's had a good year for a rookie.
Cooper Deshaun. And Kenyon
Also,
Mitchell as well.
they've got a linebacker there that kind of stepped in, Bond, and they have another linebacker, Dean. Their defense is pretty good. I just think if we can slow down the offense and and somehow contain Barkley and keep him from explosive plays, I think that our offense. I have confidence in our coach to scheme, and our offensive, our offensive players with one year of experience. Love has another year of experience under his belt. I know it hasn't been, a great year, but this is the playoffs, and I feel confident about going in with this coaching staff, with this quarterback, with a better running back, and probably a little bit better of an offensive line. The receivers are about the same. Tight ends are one. Kraft is more established, and we definitely have a better D. That doesn't mean that we're going to beat Philly for sure. I'm not saying that, but I feel better about this team than I did last year, and I think we can. I think if we can contain, if we can slow down Barkley and Hurts and AJ Brown, maybe we can score enough points, to surprise some people. Because this is a tough Philly team. There's no question about it that this is a really good team. But look at what we did in San Francisco last year, and they were a top shelf team last year. So if everything falls, with Green Bay, if everything falls well, and in regards to holding Barkley down, I think we could win the game, or at least be in a very, very close game, if not win it at the end. So, and our kicker is better now too, as well. So
that's true. We've improved in some areas.
What's that?
We've improved in some areas. We've got a better running game. We've got better defense. We got better special teams. Love is not 100% healthy. He has to get questioned. Love is banged up and he's questionable, but from everything I've heard, he's expected to play. We'll dive deeper into that Packer game in a few minutes, but I'm with you. I think we got to use Jacobs. I think we got to get some sweeps going with Jaden Reed. I want to see Love play confident the way he played at the end of last season. And we've seen glimpses of it this year. That's the Jordan Love I want to see. I'm concerned that Jordan Love doesn't exist. Hey, another Valenti. There's the wife. How you doing, babe? I'm betting she's watching TikToks and relaxing. She thinks the Eagles are going to win. Unfortunately, I do too. I think it's going to be just for her really quick. I just think the defense is going to be too much to overcome. And I think we're going to do really good stopping one element of their offense at the expense of the other. She says, "Hey, Papa Tom." Hey, Chelsea, how are you doing? I love the Papa Tom. But not just for her. I just think the Eagles are too big of an animal. This is a better team than that Cowboys team we played last year as the 7th seed. I like our defense better, Dad. Our offense recently has been
one more. I'm going to keep arguing with you. We're one more year experienced as a team, as a quarterback coach combo. I just think that we have a decent chance to win this game. I don't care who we're playing, and I know Philly's a good team, no question. But
the Packer fans in the comments are going to love you, man. She says, "Eagles all the way, caca." She'll be wearing her Eagles shirt, and for everybody, I'll take a picture.
Don't we have a linebacker? Don't we have a rookie linebacker who's kind of busting out on his own right now? Doing really well.
Edgerrin Cooper's been great. Evan Williams showed a lot of potential this season.
Edgerrin Cooper's going to fill some of those gaps and stop Barkley for 3-yard gains instead of letting him go for 20, hopefully. He's going to be filling those gaps with McDuffie. I think Quay Walker's out this game, right? So
let's look at the injury report really quick while we're in this game.
I can't read the comments, just so you know. So.
Oh, you can't see them? Oh, I'm putting them on the screen for you.
I can't read them. They're too small for me.
Okay, he says, "I definitely think that Barkley is the X factor. That's the biggest advantage they have. Cowboy Reg is in. Thank you, dude.
Nice.
I appreciate it. A lot of people are watching Texas Ohio State right now, and I understand.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Lynn says Eagles all the way. Hey, Papa Tom. John Danley says, is love healthy? And that's a good question. He says Barkley, the big sex factor, I think is a really good point. I think that is.
But let's look at it from the other perspective too. Like our running back's pretty freaking good. He's had a very good year. We've got our offense is too faceted. We can run the ball. And hopefully if we're clicking, if we're scheming well, and like we did in last year's playoffs, I just look at it like we're in the playoffs. We're where we need to be. Now it's time to bring the A game, and we'll see if the Packers can step it up. I understand that Philly, has had a great season, but I think the Packers are not the team that Philly wanted to play in round one. That's just my opinion.
Oh, interesting. I like it. We might have some other people coming in halfway through the show, but Dad, that's a good take, man. Good to see your pops on today. He had a question for you, Dad.
What's the question?
He wants to ask you, who is your favorite Packer of all time?
My favorite Packer of all time would have to be Reggie White, because when they brought him in, once they signed Reggie White to the free agent contract, and free agent contracts were just kind of being part of the league back then. Once he came, we got a little bit more talent, and we ended up getting the Super Bowl. So, and Reggie White was such a dominant defensive end. The way he played in the Super Bowl against New England, and especially late in the fourth quarter when they needed him, he had a great couple of series. So I really loved Reggie White. He came from Philly. He was a great Packer. I would have to say I have a lot of Packers that I've loved over the years.
Does Vince Lombardi count? Because if Vince Lombardi counts, I just asked the question.
I didn't know Vince Lombardi. I didn't get to see him. So
yeah, you were too little. Like you were 3, 4 by the last game, the last Super Bowl.
There was a safety who liked to hit pretty hard. His name was Chuck Cecil. I think it was in the 80s. I also loved Brett Favre because Brett Favre was he had the linebacker mentality playing quarterback, and when I was younger, I was kind of a hard head myself, so I kind of loved that mentality. He would do, and it was tough for Holmgren to coach him and to keep him under rein, and Isaac, that Favre would throw when he's not supposed to throw, but that's what kind of made it fun.
That's true.
It was fun to watch Favre. So I definitely loved Favre as well. I loved AJ Green, or no, it wasn't AJ Green. What was the running back? Amon Green, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sterling Sharp was a great receiver. He just, he just had his career cut short. And then who was that?
And Cowboy Reg was saying player. I'll give you my answer in a second.
Charles Woodson
that's mine.
That's mine as well.
Because here's my problem: the quarterbacks off the field did so much crap. Both of them. I'm sorry, Rodgers and Favre seem really unlikable off the field to me, and on the field, yeah, both of them are great choices. I loved Dorsey Levens as a kid. Dad, Leroy Butler is a very close. He's like top 5 for me because unfortunately I didn't see any of these '60s dudes. I didn't see Taylor or any of the great Packers from before. If it's in my lifetime, Reggie White is a strong second for me, and I'm gonna go deep. I'm gonna go Charles Woodson, man. The dude was special. Him and White.
Is that person still listening to the show?
Oh, Cowboy Reg, I'm sure he is. Yeah, he tunes. He's probably got in the background. He's awesome.
Back in the day, there was. I remember. I can't remember how far back it was, but there was a running back named Jerry or Gary Ellis. we were a bad team, and it was a Monday night, and we were playing Washington, and I think we won 48-47. And Ellis was a running back, and I really liked his running style. He was just a different kind of a running
Ellis,
back.
huh?
Gary
Ellis.
Ellis, I
Check
liked
this guy
him
out.
way back. I think that was, and then Lynn Dickey as quarterback had this really strange delivery, and his arm was really strong, but he couldn't. He was immobile, so he couldn't move in the pocket. So
Hold on. I got you. Career rushing leaders for the Packers: Jim Taylor, Ryan Grant. He was fun too. We forget about him.
yeah,
Yeah, Gary Ellis. He's actually ninth on the Packers all-time rushing list. He played from 80 to 86.
he had a huge
But
game on Monday night against
yeah.
Washington.
You know what's crazy is Amon Green is actually our all-time leading rusher. I could try to Bill the
David
Packer fan,
Wagner was a
not
quarterback
Buddy
for the
Bill.
Packers.
I might eventually try to get Amon Green on the show. That'd be really cool.
That'd be
It's a fun list because Aaron Rodgers, ironically, is 11th, and then Eddie Lacy, Edgar Bennett. The Packers have they had historically a really good running game, but they haven't had any dudes. They've never had a guy hit 10,000 yards. As strong as our history is, they've never actually done that. It's kind of interesting.
There's a guy in the 70s, okay, when I was a kid.
Yeah, hold on.
John Brockington. John
Hold
Brockington.
on. John
Running back.
Brockington.
He was a fullback, but he was a tailback as well. He was huge.
He must not have lasted very long. 70s?
I think
See,
it was
Eric Torkelson,
I remember him.
74 to 81.
John Brockington.
Bart Starr is top. Oh, wow. Josh Jacobs is already top 40 from his one season of 1,300 yards. He's already 38.
Doesn't take much in the
Yeah, our list isn't as strong as you'd think. There's only 6 dudes over 4,000 rushing yards with the Packers, and
back
Dorsey
in the
Levens
70s when they was
Dorsey Levens isn't one of them.
they were just
Wait, John Brockington? He's fourth, Dad. I didn't look that high.
There you
71
go.
to 77. He was a fullback. He had 5,024 yards, 29 touchdowns.
This dude
he
was a
averaged,
bruiser.
He
Hey, what
averaged
was his
3.9.
Does it have his size and weight there?
Oh, I can pull it up. Well, people, we took a
I just
Packer
remember
detour
him
here.
from when I was a kid watching.
Hold on, I got you. He was born in 48. He died just last year, or a couple of years ago, in 2023. He lived to 74. He only averaged 3.8 yards a carry. He was 6'1", 225 pounds. But back then, that was pretty big. That was maybe a little bit smaller of a fullback. But what's up, dude? Thanks for watching. Messed up on the last show in the comments, which make me so sad because freaking A, man. Like, there were so many people just clowning because the Bears finally won their first game. But I want to grow the show this year. So if you guys have comments or stuff you want us to talk about, throw it in. I like to make this show as interactive as possible. In the comments. I've got a Baker versus Jaden Daniels question. We're going to get there, I promise. We're going to hit that. We'll hit that before the game in just a second. Any last Packer thoughts, Dad? We'll deep dive more into them a little bit later. You got any other running backs? I can't believe Brockington's
for history. For history.
Well, I got one for you. Who do you think outside Amon Green?
Yeah.
Who do you think is in the top 10 all time? This isn't fair because I'm looking at the list. I could have gotten probably 3 or 4 of them. Who do you think is after Amon Green? Who is number 2 in Packer rushing history?
Oh gosh.
He's a great from the 60s.
Taylor.
You're gonna be shocked. Brockington's 4th. Who do you think's 3rd? A recent dude. So it's Amon Green, Jim Taylor,
Dorsey
Brockington
Levens.
is 3rd. Dorsey Levens is 7th.
Oh. It's not Amon Green.
Amon Green's 1st.
Oh.
Amon Green.
Sure. Who is it?
Aaron Jones is 3rd.
Oh yeah, Aaron Jones. Yeah. Okay, cool.
You got any other guesses? Aaron
Jones is a great person,
Oh yeah,
and a good running back.
He really is. He averaged 5 yards a carry for us. He actually leads us in that.
The fact that he plays for Minnesota, we just got to ignore that. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe we get him or Davante Adams back next year. And it might not be a conspiracy theory. I've heard a lot of smoke about Davante Adams coming back. We'll find it.
I
It'll
don't
be
know if
interesting.
I don't know if I want to pay big bucks for that, but maybe
32. If he's got enough gas left in the tank for a season or two. This is an interesting list. Tony Canedo is fifth from the 40s.
Canedo.
Yeah. Ryan Grant is sixth. Dorsey Levens. And then I'm shocked by these other dudes. Clark Hinkle is eighth. Your boy Jerry Ellis is ninth, above Paul Horning. Paul Horning is 10th.
Paul Horning, yeah.
And then Aaron Rodgers and Eddie Lacy and Edgar Bennett. That's the top 13. But
Eddie Lacy, I remember him. Yeah.
So we did our Packer history. We're going to deep dive into these games. We will hit more Packers later for you guys. I want to start every show with the little Packers, but we've got some other games to talk about. I'm really excited. This dude asked a good question, though. Let's just answer it quick because we're going to hit that game fully.
Okay.
Baker or Jaden Daniels this Sunday?
In this game, I'm taking Baker.
Believe it's Sunday night. It's right after the Packer game. I'm going Baker. I think it's rookies in their first playoff start can be a tough thing, man.
Hey, Jaden Daniels has been great as a rookie. He's composed.
Yeah. Yes,
He's got all the skills. He can throw the ball well. It's just Baker's been through it, and Baker is it seems like it's kind of Baker's time. He's, like I said, he's been through. He's not a rookie. He's got the experience. I just feel like the experience part of it, goes, pushes it to Baker a little bit in this one. If it were 2 years down the road, probably be picking Jaden here.
Maybe, but I mean, this Baker renaissance, he just keeps getting better and better. The dude was just unhinged.
You know who Baker reminds me of a little bit is Drew Brees.
I would say so. I was wrong, actually, by the way. It was 41 touchdowns passing. Drew Brees, that's a good point, man. He just racked up. He had 16 picks, but 3 touchdowns on the ground. He had 44 touchdowns total and got snubbed from the Pro Bowl. How many times in NFL history has a dude had 44 total TDs and didn't make the Pro Bowl on a winning team?
In fantasy, he was the 4th overall fantasy in our dynasty.
I know, and I traded him away. Yeah. We do a dynasty league together, everybody, and gosh, that sucked. I flipped him in a first for a Kane, and I still have Jalen Hurts, so it may pan, but that was tough. All
right, you ready to go to games?
Yeah, let's hit these games in order. So, Janae, I agree with you that Jordan Love needs to step up. That is the guy I'm looking at on the Packer offense the most.
That's why I'm picking the Packers, because I believe in Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur, and I think they're going to be able to scheme and play this game well.
If we can beat this Philly team, we can beat anybody in the playoffs. I think we could actually. The problem is we
better see the Love and the coach Matt LaFleur connection we saw in the playoffs last year.
Okay, I got a quick.
That's the connection that can win games.
I got a fast Packer question for you. Do you believe in this receiving core enough, or do you think they need another dude with Watson out?
I believe in this receiving core enough that yes, because it's all about the scheme. It's all about believing in the coach and how they're it's not just one or two guys. It's about the whole group, and I like that concept, and I think it worked. And I think it's worked for the Packers, and I think that it can work in the playoffs. We'll see if it does. We'll see if can Love put on the field what the coach schemes. Can they put it together like they did last year in the playoffs? If they can, we can beat Philly.
Does the headsets and everything? Can you hear me pretty good on the mic? You like it?
Can hear you good.
Nice. All right, cool. Let's hit these games. Okay, and I'll pull up weather on them in a minute. This Chargers team goes in as a road favorite. We're going to preview the games in order now, people. That's what you can expect for the rest of the show. We'll talk, maybe a little fantasy, but this is playoff time. This is one of my favorite times of the year because I love watching playoff football. One and done football. There's something special about it. So let's do this. Chargers at the Steelers. Chargers are 3-point favorites on the road. J.K. Dobbins is questionable, but from everything I've heard, I think he's going to play. Palmer is out. Eli Apple is questionable. Quentin Johnston is questionable, but I think he's going to play. On the Texans side, Shaq Mason's out. They got a couple guys. Autry is questionable. That's kind of a big one. But other than that, there's healthy as can be. I mean, there's no Tank Dell, obviously. They're down. They got Nico at receiver. They've looked more anemic than the Packers recently on offense. I have a big problem with this Texan offense. And as good as they are yardage wise, the defense is, I just don't believe in this team. They just got destroyed by the Ravens on Christmas 31-2. They hung with the Chiefs but lost. They barely beat the Dolphins and the Jags. And they beat the Titans, but they really haven't beaten any. Like, what's their strongest win this season? The Texans, their best win was probably, they almost beat Green Bay, but they lost. Was probably against Buffalo back in October before they got going. They got destroyed against Minnesota in a meaningful game early in the season. They did beat Buffalo. They hung with Green Bay in Green Bay, but lost. They lost to the Lions, but hung in. They haven't really beaten anyone. They're even more like there's more of a question than there is with the Packers, and that's my problem with the Texans. The Chargers' offense is a little limited, but their defense is first in the league. So there's my deep dive preview. I'm leaning Chargers. Dad, talk me out of it.
What's your pick?
Why do you think? I'm going Chargers here on the road.
You taking the points or what?
Yeah, I'm gonna actually. I think that the Texans are gonna lay a goose egg at home. I think they're gonna get beat up. I think
All
that
right.
the Chargers are gonna win by like 10, maybe 14.
I'll
go like 30.
A second-year
I'll go like
quarterback.
30-17.
You got a second-year quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He should be improved, and he will be. I think Houston, since Stroud's been quarterback, they've won that division 2 years in a row. Correct?
This is true. It's probably the weakest division in the league, but yeah, it's true.
Doesn't matter. They won the division.
True.
Do they have Mixon in this game? Is Mixon playing?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Is Nico Collins in this game?
Yeah, so Mixon's got 1,000 yards on the year. He kind of tailed off a little, but he's still at 1,000 yards.
Nico Collins is going to play?
Nico Collins cracked 1,000 yards even with the injuries.
Nico Collins is probably the best receiver on the field. Mixon is probably the best running back on the field.
It's true. McConkey was pretty good, but yeah.
McConkey's coming up, no question.
I think the best quarterback.
I would put Nico Collins above him.
I think Herbert.
I don't see, and they're playing in Houston.
Yes, this is true.
Are they playing in Houston? Okay, I'm taking Houston. Fuck that.
Harbaugh, man. Harbaugh and Herbert, the two H's. That's why.
Oh, who's the coach for Houston?
DeMeco Ryans. DeMeco Ryans.
Or DeMeco Ryans. Okay, same.
But Harbaugh wins at coach, and I think they win at quarterback. Herbert over.
I don't necessarily think they win at quarterback with the quarterback at home. And honestly, I don't know. This is. I know the Chargers have the number 1 D rated. Where's Houston rated on D?
All right, so I'll give you the breakdown really quick. Points. Chargers are first at 17.7 points a game. The Texans are 21.9. They're 14th, middle of the pack. Yards, though, the Texans actually edge the Chargers. So the Chargers are more of a bend, but don't break D. Shockingly, they beat the Eagles. But they're 11th in yards. The Texans are 6th. Passing, they're almost identical. The Chargers are 7th in yards against. The Texans are 6th.
Houston's gonna win this game straight up. I think 28 to 20.
I'm going 30-13 Chargers, or sorry, 30-17 Chargers win.
We disagree.
But
Mixon's going to get 2 touchdowns and Stroud's going to throw for 2 touchdowns.
Both offenses are a little anemic in yards. They're in the 20s, but the Chargers are 11th in points, so their point differential's a lot better than the Texans. They're better on defense and they're better in scoring. And both teams,
I think the difference
in interceptions and sacks.
I think the difference between Stroud and Herbert is probably Stroud is closer than we might be being overly critical, a little bit overly critical on Stroud, and Herbert's had a good year, no question. McConkey is there, doing well. Palmer's out, and Dobbins has been injured, right? He's coming back. I don't know how that's gonna pan out, but it is in Houston. Home field advantage in the playoffs is big,
This right?
so I'm going with Houston, and they're gonna cover the points.
Ooh, they're gonna cover, huh?
Yep.
Okie dokie. We will see. This is gonna be interesting. I did drop the question: who's the greatest Packer of all time? Favre, Reggie White, Lynn Dickey, Bart Starr, and Vince. Obviously, Vince Lombardi came up. I'm going to put a poll out later. I'll let you know what happens. All right. So we differ on this game. Yeah, this is a little interesting caveat, Dad. The Chargers and Texans are two of the best teams in sacks at 49 and 45.
Yeah.
And the Texans are second in interceptions with 19. The Chargers are eighth with 15. The betting line on BetMGM, they've got the Chargers at 71% of the bets and 74% of the money. Just not a lot of confidence in the Texans right now. And I got something else for you really quick. I like to go in the Ringer. There's other websites, but I like them because the way they break this down. Give me a second here. I'm pulling up this site really quick. So when you hit their power rankings, they do some other deep dive breakdowns. But on their power rankings, my favorite thing about them is they show you expected play average, because just pulling up raw stats, as you know, you watch enough football, it can be a little misleading. The problem with raw stats is teams like the Vikings, it says their pass D is like 28th, but they actually shut us down effectively, and teams have to throw in them and get some garbage time stats. It's a little misleading. So I like this. I like the expected play average because it gives you what you could expect from the team. Like the Packers are actually top 10 in almost every category, but in this game, what's interesting is the Chargers. The rush offense is middle of the pack, but they got Dobbins. They need to add some more talent on offense. McConkey looks great, but I think they need another weapon for Herbert, who limited the mistakes this year. Derwin James looked excellent on defense. Their defense is even better expected than there are actually yardage wise. But when I look at the Texans, they're even worse. The rushing offense is 28th. It's fallen off, even though they've got Mixon. 28th in expected play per rush. Their EPA per rush is 28th, and their EPA on passing offense is 21st. Now, their defense is top 8 in both categories, and they've got a good coach, but that offense is, I don't know how they're going to get points on this Charger D, but it's the playoffs.
Yeah,
and
it's playoffs, and we know that the offensive line for Houston's been, the issue, but
it has. And the receiver injuries.
They're going to have to scheme away from that, somehow.
Because Diggs and Tank Dell are both out, so he's down to Nico and Dalton Schultz in the passing game, right? And Mechie, is that pretty much it?
Yeah.
And Mechie's not. It's really just Nico and Dalton Schultz. So, all right. Well, if you guys got some thoughts on that, drop it in the comments. Tell us who you think's going to win. Something I asked earlier is who's going to be the upset. We're going to dive deeper into this playoff game soon, the Packer game, but the next one. And I don't know if this one actually takes a lot because the Steelers always play the Ravens tough. And I know, let me hold on. Steelers, Ravens, playoff history. I think it favors the Steelers, but hold on. The Ravens are 1-3 against the Steelers all time in the playoffs. But here's my concern. Do you believe in the Steelers team? Because they've just fallen off a rock recently, man. Here's their last 4 games. This is the Steelers. They beat the Browns barely. That was December 8th. That was 5 games ago. They lost to the Eagles by 2 touchdowns. They lost to the Ravens by 17, both on the road. They got smashed by the Chiefs on Christmas in Pittsburgh, and then they lost to Cincinnati.
Pittsburgh's a tough team.
Physically. They are, but can they hold up against this Baltimore juggernaut?
Not against Baltimore.
Do you think they can cover the spread? It's 9.5.
Psychologically, they're coming in defeated. They just got beat by Baltimore by multiple touchdowns, and it just doesn't bode well for going into the playoffs. The coach is tough as hell. He's the most experienced NFL coach right now, right?
Yeah, I think it's Mike Tomlin. So we got Millie here with us. Millie Tomlin's he's the longest tenured coach in the NFL by far, right?
Who?
I like him.
Oh yeah, I mean this is the 38th time that Tomlin and Harbaugh have met.
Wow.
38. What is that?
How long has Harbaugh been there in Baltimore? That's a good one.
16 years.
So he
Maybe
went
longer.
there. Yeah, let's check it out.
17th season. So this is 17th season.
Wow. I forget that they both have been in that division so long and they both won a ring, but I mean,
early in the year, I thought Pittsburgh might have a chance to make a run, but they just haven't put it together, and it's gone the other way for them. So this doesn't look well. This looks like the one and done. In Baltimore, they look like they could go all the way. So in my opinion,
No.
So I don't see this game being very close, but it's just me.
So we're hitting the playoff games one by one. We previewed the little Packers. We're going to come back to it. We talked the Chargers game. We'll get your thoughts on that in a second. We're breaking each game down in order. What are your thoughts on Steelers Ravens? I actually don't think it's close. I think the Ravens are on a totally different wavelength than the Steelers right now.
You don't think without Zay Flowers?
That one's important. Is he definitely out?
Yeah, he's definitely out.
I actually still think this Raven, unless the Steelers wake out of this sleep that they're in, I don't know, man. That offense looks.
Lamar's numbers against the Steelers are awful.
That's true. Tomlin does know how to scheme against him.
And without his number one receiver, his other guys caught 15 balls. Rashad Bateman. And I'm not kidding, literally 15 balls.
But they've got two solid tight ends, and they still have Derrick Henry. But you're right. Tomlin can scheme it. And the one thing I got to say that scares me, and I heard this analogy. I think you guys will like it. I listened to a couple podcasts, but Bill Simmons brought it up. He's like, if Lamar loses this game, we might be entering Marty Schottenheimer territory, where it's like one of the best regular season juggernaut players. That was a coach, but regular season, you're fully buying the dude over and over and over, and he keeps letting you down in the playoffs.
Agreed.
Schottenheimer never got to a Super Bowl, and Lamar, if he keeps doing this, it's worse than Josh Allen because he's got more around him.
Well, Josh Allen's made it to. I mean, the Ravens have 9 Pro Bowlers. Josh Allen has what? 1, 2?
1.
I think
come on. That argument is so ridiculous. It's unbelievable. Like they want.
I know.
The whole Lamar MVP. It's if they are smart, they will run the football.
That's my concern. Is I love John Harbaugh. I think he's been great for Baltimore, and there's a debate on Mike Tomlin if he should get fired, but I don't think you can fire a dude who's never had a losing season. But
yeah,
Harbaugh, why would you get rid of Tomlin? I mean, come on.
I wouldn't. No way. They need to get more talent on offense. They're lacking. The Steelers' offense is lacking talent all over the place, in my opinion. But John Harbaugh, he might have cost them a Super Bowl last year because he refused to run the ball in a close game. And that's what might have won it against the Chiefs. They might have just kept hitting the brick wall. But why wasn't Lamar using his legs? Why weren't they running the ball?
Why didn't they let Lamar be Lamar when they needed him the most?
They pulled a Pete Carroll. They wanted Lamar. They wanted to prove Lamar had progressed as a quarterback
last year, right?
Yeah, and Pete Carroll
just
did the
let
same
Lamar
thing
be Lamar. Yeah. I mean, that's what it does.
No, just give the ball to Derrick Henry. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Just give the ball but they can't do that because it has to be about him. It has to be that he led the way. He's the one that did this. He's the one that led the Ravens. And it's like, really, the offense is better than it's ever been. And I wonder what changed. Lamar's been there forever. What else changed? Oh, they added one of the best running backs in the history of football who's impossible, who made Ryan Tannehill a Pro Bowler. Like, come on. Just give the ball to him. I'm telling you, give the ball to him.
Well, it shouldn't be a problem in this game.
Side question for you guys.
I just think Baltimore's just going to take this game by the. They'll have it wrapped up by halftime, I think.
If the Ravens go on a Super Bowl run, where in history do you think Derrick Henry will fall?
Maybe third quarter. What's that?
If the Ravens win this Super Bowl, do you guys think Derrick Henry's looked at as a top 10 all-time running back?
Yes.
I agree.
That guy.
Lamar, it's going to cement his legacy too. Because he's had maybe 3 MVPs already, and he's 27?
Well, he needs to get a ring.
He's got to get a ring. And now he's got what's great for him
when
is
Zay Flowers
exactly
coming back, Millie?
think it's next week.
I'm not sure, but I do know that ever since week 13, the Ravens defense has been number one in basically every statistical
Ravens
category.
defense has stepped it up, right?
They brought in a guy named
Mhm.
Dean Pease because they had this guy Orr who they promoted, like, hey, he's the next guy. Their defense stunk. They bring in Dean Pease. Guess
As
what?
As the coordinator?
As a defensive analyst.
Oh,
So
good.
just look up Dean Pease and you'll see.
I did know that the Ravens D in the last quarter of the season had really stepped it up, especially the run D, right?
Yep, and that's why, because they brought him in. They brought him in to save. This guy had a defense that was absolutely golly. I'm just watching. I got the Cotton Bowl on down here. I got a TV down here in my basement.
No,
Now.
I need to watch it. I'm like watching the score. Millie, you're gonna judge me, but I've had so much crap going on. I have not followed college yet. I'm gonna do my heavy scouting the second the Packers get knocked out of the playoffs, which hopefully
Good. You should Sunday. You should be right. You'll have plenty of time
I
after
hope
Sunday.
I picked Philly, but I'm hoping not, man. Hey, really quick. I know you came in late, but Millie, can you just tell everybody where to find you, man? I should have done it right away.
Right here, right here at my handle, Millie Goats on Twitter, pretty much on every social media you could possibly imagine. Just type that in, and that's where we're at. And we have a podcast twice a week, comes out Thursdays and Mondays. And we do live shows twice a week. I've been doing a lot more live shows at night just because I've been recapping these games, and people really seem to enjoy those. I don't know why, but we get in there and we yell about what people did wrong. And it's not like anybody cares is going to listen, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to yell about it anyways.
People like watching me upset after the Packers lose. That's been our best ratings, and it makes me so mad. We had great ratings on Tuesday because Med was just living up the stupid Bear useless win, the meaningless win that the Bears got. That was total crap.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, dude. As a friend, you have.
Yeah.
I had to watch the Niners lose the Super Bowl live on this thing.
Oh, God.
Okay. I had to watch Mahomes go right down the field staring into this stupid camera while everybody on the show laughed at me. But hey, it was worth it. It was pretty funny. It was funny.
Oh, no. It was great. I love Med, and I would do that show again in a heartbeat. Mm-hmm. The next time the Packers beat them, I'm going to clown on them even harder because we're buddies, and it's just fun. Like, that's why people want to watch it because it's entertaining, because I'm laughing because it's hilarious. So
it is funny. And you guys have got to feel.
How's the game going, by the way?
How do you feel? How's what?
How's the game going?
Oh,
I haven't even watched it. I've been busy with this.
Oh, what are you doing?
Oof.
Interception, Texas. What
this?
a terrible throw. Ohio State gets us. There it is. Will Howard, complete jabroni. He's jabroni-fied this game. Travion Henderson.
Ooh, Texas is 14-7. All right, Ohio State.
Well, it was 7-7. Texas goes down, ties the game up with 30 seconds to go in the half. You're like 7-7. Here we go. Ohio State gets the ball. That's cool. Well, Texas, with 15 seconds left, plays off coverage. Ohio State throws a screen. Travion Henderson goes to the house. It's 14-7 in the half.
Oh, how far was it for Travion?
Like 80 yards.
Nice.
Really?
So now Ohio State
looking at him for dynasty.
They have the ball, and they just threw a pick on their opening drive of the second half. So
that's brutal. And man, I'm really I'm loving my Notre Dame pick because I actually picked them to go to the national championship.
Yes,
I picked them to lose the national championship, but I picked them to get there. I didn't hit a lot of my other bowl picks, but that one felt pretty good. All right. So. Yeah, man. Okay, hey, tell you what. Let's sidebar this really quick. I want to keep going to these games, but
yes, go ahead.
What is your take on Brock Purdy? Has your opinion on him changed at all? Because, Love wasn't great this year either. But how are you feeling about your 49ers? Do you think the window's closed because of injury and age, or do you think they just need to retool this thing?
I think it's more age. I think it's more age than anything. But I don't know that it's closed. Quite honestly, I do believe in Brock Purdy. I rip on him a lot because I have high expectations for him, but I've seen him at his height. I have seen that dude put the team on his back We saw it in the playoffs. And so I can hold on to that and be like, he's got it in there. I know he does. I mean, you're talking about a guy in his third year where, he where
Sup,
he
boys?
I don't know if you know this guy or not. Dad, you don't know
I
him.
love the
You
shades though.
just bring me in cold? Is that what you did? Goodness gracious, Isaac.
Come on,
So-
Isaac.
I believe in
I'm
him.
going to message the wife and tell her to watch this now.
Their
She's
problem is
bipolar about you.
the 49ers problem is the interior line on both sides of the football. That's their issue. That's where they got their butts handed to them.
Millie, go. Question. I got Nick Bosa on my dynasty team. He's my defensive edge rusher. And I just picked. Actually, I just got him. I got lucky. I feel like, but I mean, he is one of the best edge rushers in the NFL. Is that your opinion as well, or what you got on him?
When he wants to be, if he's hurt or if he's not in, he's one of those guys. When you watch him play, you're like, he'll just disappear for times. And then there's times when
he's not like this Max Crosby guy that plays every fucking down, like
No.
it's the last down of his life.
No, and I think he used to. Then he got paid. When he got paid, things changed.
Oh.
And when he was hurt a lot this year, he hurt his hip, he hurt his oblique.
I'm gonna cut him then. Fuck him.
I think he's right.
No.
Good job, Dad. You just dropped two F-bombs in a row. All right, really, really quick. We're going to keep going 49ers. So I've been talking with Mr. First Down, man. He's freaking hilarious. Me and him jokingly flirt, and then I show my wife the messages. It's the funniest thing.
Now you've ruined you've ruined it.
Oh, you're right. Well, she's not watching right now, even though I told her to. You're right. I shouldn't have started with that. I should have just told you how good you look today. You look so good. I just need to see another redhead. The other redhead. There she is. The other redhead.
I'm just the red bearded. It's all sandy blonde mud pudding up here. Anyway, one thing about the 49ers, Millie, real quick, since I got you. She's
Did
been.
you see all my stuff? I added a new flag.
Been watching the White
I see. I like it.
This hat's 30 years old.
That's beautiful.
Wait, is that from the last Super Bowl one?
It is probably.
Isaac.
Nice.
Goodness gracious.
That's not nice.
Hey, I can handle that. I mean, I've been watching the Niners playing Super Bowls for the last decade. Well, they draft one quarterback who throws for 200 yards a game, and suddenly he's the next Brett Favre.
Millie, my question is this, and I don't know if it is grinding on the nerves of 49ers fans, but the rest of us notice that when something goes wrong at the press conference, Shanahan gets up and he doesn't really seem to take accountability. It's kind of like everybody else's fault but him. Is this just a fabrication, or
no? People get really mad at him for that.
Okay.
He is a very much. He does not. That's people rip Brock Purdy for being bad in the second half of games in the fourth quarter and things like that.
Right. Yeah.
But the checks for the offense are built within the system. Brock Purdy has no control at the line of scrimmage, basically. Right. The checks are built within, right?
Okay.
And so in the second half of games, Shanahan is getting outdone. And that's just the truth, right? I mean, look at all the games they blew this year. Early on, they blew like four games. They had a 10-point lead in the second half.
I can vouch. My wife's a 49er fan, and we were rooting for him this year, and it just was.
You could see it. You could see the slow way.
He's
not changing anything. He's not I mean, he gets pass happy, and when he gets pass happy, he wants to throw the ball 40 times. And we lost like 5 running backs, but still, that offense is built on running the football, and they can't because run blocking, they're terrible. The league has
figured him out.
For the most part, that's why in second halves they blow it. First half, he will script you into the ground. But the second part of the second half, he does not adjust well. Second half, he's stubborn about it. I mean, you watch the game, and I'm watching. I'm like, what is he doing? Like, can we not run outside zone one time? Can we get a little movement up there?
Yeah.
So, anyways.
I was just curious. It was something we discussed in other podcasts or whatnot.
You hit a nerve on that one.
And you're feeling good, man, because you got the number 1 pick.
Oh, yeah, I feel great, bud. I'm feeling fantastic.
You
got the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Where's your mayonnaise back there, dude? Where's your mayonnaise?
I threw it out the window, just like we're about to do. So, I'll tell you this, Isaac. I will bet you about 70-30 that they're trading out of that pick. The more Well, let me tell you why.
You don't want any of these quarterbacks.
I don't. You're right, Millie. I really don't.
Good.
I really
Yeah.
You
don't.
don't.
No,
You don't
I
believe
don't.
in Shador at all,
I don't
huh?
see.
Or
I don't
Ward?
see a number one quarterback.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, Isaac, we got one of your guys as the head of football operations at this moment.
Well,
His
that's
name was
good for
Chad.
you.
His name was Chad Brinker, and he was in charge of your analytics department. And now he's the head of football operations in Tennessee after they fired Rand Carthon Tuesday. And boy, oh boy, did that set off a firestorm or whatnot. But this is you can't have a terrible season like that and get away with it. So, and
Also, because y'all spent a lot of money and then didn't.
$219 million, and Callahan goes to his end of year press conference and he says, in the nicest way possible, these guys suck. Like, there's he worded it way better than my inebriated brain could pop out for you. But he
I saw
basically,
your video earlier. That was
basically
so
yeah, did you like that? So they fire him Tuesday, and it's really funny to me because fans are so funny because we go through the whole season, and I'm like, somebody's going to pay for this. Like, they're going to get rid of somebody, and I don't think it should be the head coach because he hasn't got the guys, he hasn't got the horses. So these guys, they fire him, and then of course people are like, of course they did. How could they? When? Let me fall on this sword and talk about how unfair and unjust this is that this happened. Boo freaking who. We're the worst team in the league, and he's one of the reasons why. So now enter Chad Brinker, who is pretty much Darth Vader at this point. Okay, there's admirals and stuff, but he's in charge, right? Look at me, I'm captain now. That's what Chad Brinker is. And so now some people are being let go that needed to be let go a long time ago and stuff like that. So I have a reason for optimism, and I like to see what's going to happen. But I'm telling you, they're trading out of that pick, Isaac. Mark my words, young man. They're trading out of that pick, I swear.
That'd be a
Trade
good
the
move.
Giants.
They could trade out and get 2 or 3 other picks.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Like,
Oh,
look,
no, he didn't get it. Wow.
you're probably he didn't get it. They're probably not going to go down that far, right? Because who needs a quarterback? Cleveland,
Right.
Giants.
Jets, the
Giants.
the Giants.
The
Yeah,
Giants.
there's one. So 4. Raiders. Raiders desperately need one. Somebody is
sure.
going to pay that price, and I will gladly take it in a heartbeat. No doubt about it. Especially on a bad team. So
Well, I
this
want to
is
hit
my TED talk. Thanks for coming.
Well, I got a question for you guys.
There's a couple of quarterbacks out there that are available on other NFL teams right now. I like better
Darnold.
than the quarterbacks that are in the draft.
Yeah, me too.
And if you have a good player personnel guy, maybe they'll figure that out. I don't know.
Dude, did you see? It's
it's going to be Carr. I have a feeling it's going to be Carr. I do.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
no.
I have thoughts on Derek Carr like I do Will Levis. Just don't do it.
I have a
Just don't do it.
nasty. Well, let me tell you about Derek Carr. Derek Carr is the guy that
Yeah.
plays a good 5 games and then just falls off the universe. Like, just gets to a cliff and just
well, what he
plummets.
does is he throws himself off the cliff because it's like, let me get this first down. Let me get this first down with 5 minutes left in the first quarter when we're down by 15, and I got to get this first down. He throws his body into a moving Mack truck, and everybody's like, "What are you doing, dude? It's the first quarter."
Or he's trying to avoid any sack, and he's like, okay, if there's any pressure on him, throws it away. Throws it 3 yards down the field.
You know who the
He's
Titans
like
should
that.
get? They should get Tanner McKee.
I told them to go take Hendon Hooker off of the Detroit's practice squad. That's what I said. I think that's a up and coming. That's a different kind of take on it. He can compete with Levis and Mason Rudolph, and we'll go from there. That was my take on it. And hey,
They should
it turns out to be good.
get back what they gave
Hey,
the Packers.
Trade
The
Malik
Willis.
Willis.
What's his Willis?
Take him back.
No,
Yes.
Get him back.
Homecoming.
no, fam.
No.
Hey, he looked pretty solid for us this year.
Trade
Yeah,
for
but you're
Tanner
not really
McKee.
telling him to do anything like complicated.
But
It's
he did play within the system, and he added mobility, which Love was lacking for serious stretches of the season. And that was one of the biggest differences in Love this year and last year. You can just look at the stats or just watch the way he played. He moved last year, used his legs. He actually had a few rushing TDs. He wasn't like, he wasn't Lamar Jackson, but he had some serious mobility. Over half of this season, he was gipping around a leg and he barely ran. He was like Aaron Rodgers, age 40. It was kind of hard to watch at points because he couldn't move. Malik Willis added mobility.
Backup who's
Might be
young.
worth a shot.
What?
The New England backup?
Oh, it was Joe Milton, Bazooka Joe.
Milton. Oh man, I heard all about Milton on Bill
Listen,
this week.
Listen, that man has thrown more balls into the Tennessee River in Knoxville, Tennessee, than any other UT quarterback. I've never seen anybody overthrow a guy by 80 yards. He's done it. I kid you not. I kid you not. Look, I've been in that stadium. I bleed orange. I've been in, I was born in Knoxville while Dad was in
not
UT
him then?
No, look, he did well. I thought he did very well the last game of the Patriots. Thanks, Pats fan. I appreciate the first round draft pick. Thank you. So
they threw you a bone, a serious bone. They did.
Yeah, they did. I mean, what can I didn't think I was going to get it. I was like, they need to lose this game. Callahan made sure he was going to lose the game by playing both quarterbacks. So that's, you got to play smart here. And what they do, they fired Gerard Mayo within the hour. They fired him.
They were like, wait, you won this game? You're out of here.
Yeah. And Vrabel screamed,
I got to say something on that. I heard the funniest thing, and because he's a Pats guy, so there was a long Pats take on it on Bill Simmons this week. And this was hilarious. He's like, why would you keep a guy you're going to fire that's making a foundational decision? Why would you let him make that decision then fire him? That'd be like having a like you're having like the annual like financial meeting at your company, and you know you're going to fire the guy before, but you're like, why don't we let him make this last really important decision that's going to change the course of our company? Let's let him make that decision, and we're going to fire him regardless after. Why wouldn't you set up the new leadership, let them start that and make that decision? Why are you letting a guy stay out there and coach that's clearly going to try to win?
Before the game?
I'm talking about firing him the week before. A coach is going to coach to win, to save their job. If you want to lose,
they probably thought by putting the backup in, they had a better chance to lose anyway.
They probably did. And then Joe Milton was like, wait, hold my beer.
Well, yeah, I saw him after the game. He's like, what did y'all want me to do? That's my chance to show people what I got. That's my job. And
he was doing his audition for the Tennessee quarterback starting.
That probably made him another how many more $1 million is he going to get paid because of that?
Yeah, pretty much. We call it Bazooka Joe out there, by the way, just so everybody knows.
Love that.
Good old Bazooka Joe.
Hey, Sam, really quick. I forgot to do it when you came in because we were in the middle of a take. Fast before we keep going to the wildcard games. Can you just tell everybody?
You no. You're married. Leave me alone.
No, we're gonna go on a date. I promise. No, tell everybody where to find. Well, I know you talk to everybody, so that's you.
Guilty.
Tell everybody where to find your show and a little bit about it.
Well, I just aired Fanboys Unleashed, which is my show. That's what.
Holy smokes! Did he get that off? Sorry.
I don't know.
Millie.
It's okay, Millie. Gee whiz.
Sorry.
It's very unprofessional. Anyway.
It is, you're right.
Call me. So we'll Fanboys Unleashed. Fanboys Unleashed airs Fridays at 8 p.m. Central. Me and Bradley Mangold break down all things Titans and some NFL news as well, because why not? And we just got a Facebook page up that did really well for some reason. I don't know. But nice. I was kind of shocked. I was like, wow, that's a lot of people.
What's a lot?
Yeah, we're just kind of grinding away at it and kind of having to tear down the insane fan theories that keep popping up on our chat. But I think that's anybody's really show. If you do a show on the 49ers, there's probably 8 million things out there you see in chat that you're like, no, absolutely not. That doesn't make any sense. And then, or you have, in my case, living down south, I tell you about my cousin. He plays quarterback for BFE, middle of nowhere, Kentucky. I'll tell you, he's got a cannon for his arm, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I'm like, this guy, I don't even know this. Who is he?
He's on my scouting list.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah,
My dad tries to trade me these guys. He's like, "This guy looks great. You want him?" I'm like, "Dad, shut up."
You need him.
or he offers me the worst class. He offered me a 6 for a tight end, a rookie from this last year. He's like, "I don't even want the guy." I was like, "Dad, you offered me a trade for him. I know you want him." We have fun in fantasy. We've done it for over
Well, that's
25 years.
people trade. It's always better when people trade.
Hey,
I made 6 trades in a week. It was fun.
Lindley, have you noticed he's interrupted me 3 times? I just want you to keep count. Okay, thank you. Punish him later. You're welcome.
If she's still watching, I hope she probably already turned it off. We'll see.
Yeah, probably. She's like,
if there's a comment in a minute, she's like, "Okay, I'm done. I watched for an hour. I'm done.
I've had enough of this. Let's see.
Right,
What did Jason
the new guy, what's your name? Sam?
Yeah, it's my name's Sam. Yeah.
Sam, what about Kirk Cousins in tennis? No.
Oh.
First of all,
That's
no, hell no.
Joe
I'm
Flacco.
trying to get you going. I'm just trying.
I know. First of all, I don't have $100 million to pay him because obviously that's what he's used to, getting paid
That's his
$100
floor.
million.
That's his floor. Yeah.
Yeah, that's his floor. And then, so it was funny because everybody said, Atlanta's going to try to trade him before June 1st and blah, 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 or after. I can't remember. And then I think they looked around and everybody's like, I'm not paying that man $100 million or whatever they owe him. And and now the Atlanta, I think on Tuesday said they're going to keep him as a backup. And I was like, you think so? Yeah, they're going to keep him as a backup. No joke.
Very admirable of them. That's what it was their decision.
In other words,
we're not
we
trading
out,
him, you bunch of losers.
Hey guys, you want this guy? And all the other 31 other teams were like, no. He's 30-something years old with an Achilles injury. Why would I want that? Yeah. So
you want that. Also, I don't think the wife's watching, and I kindly waited for the end of your take there. See?
Oh my goodness.
I was looking for you. I was looking
what are you doing?
Jameis Winston, Joe Flacco. We could just go down the list.
Oh, Jameis would be
fun. We're just going to add people. We're like, hey, something's got to stick here. What do you guys got to do?
Honestly, though, I'm thinking, what about Sam Darnold?
That's what I was going to ask. No?
I would say, obviously, I would take him. Like, obviously. But I don't think he's coming free. I don't think so. You think they're just going to be like.
He's young enough, right?
Yeah, no, look, I would take him. I have no problem, but I don't think he's going to leave Minnesota. I think he's going to stay there with KOC.
That's my take, Sam, because the coaching's great. Where are you going to have Kevin O'Connell, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, Aaron Jones is 30.
Yeah, but isn't that going to be JJ McCarthy's team next year? I mean, come on.
Is it though?
I got to see his knee first.
Yeah. And how does he do? Yeah, I know.
It's right here, Millie. Here it is for you. This knee. That's the comment. Is blocking. Thank you. Anyway, there's my knee. There you go, buddy. Show him a little leg. Show him a little leg.
Okay. Jason wanted to ask this question, so he wants to know. This is for the 49ers and Titans fans, and then I want to hit the rest of the playoff games.
I'm like popping up over this. Like,
who are you guys picking in the Packers-Eagles matchup, and what's your score prediction for the game? There you go,
So Christian Watkins is done, right? Like he's done.
Oh, Watson tore his ACL. He's out.
Yeah, he's out. Okay.
But
he's not coming back to the middle of next season.
I don't think anybody.
He should.
Yeah, I mean,
we don't.
The more important question, Jason, is what excuse is Isaac going to give them when his team loses again? That's my question.
We stop.
Why is everybody quiet? Come on.
Hey,
Millie, what you got?
Their game was meaningless, okay? You know it was. I know it was.
They quit.
It wasn't meaningless because it's theirs, and we want to beat them every time. So we should have. So I'm actually mad about it, Sam. Just so you know.
Okay.
You're not mad because they lost. You're mad because the guy who shares the microphone with you gets to rub your face in it, because that's always the worst. That's the worst.
I know.
That is the worst, because there's nothing you can do, nothing you can say. It is absolutely the worst.
I can remind him that his team lost to the Patriots 19-3, that they were 5-12 this year.
Hey, I beat them.
They still don't know. They still don't know if they have their quarterback. They don't know when they're going to not suck.
Oh,
So I can remind them of all those things.
you don't believe in the Patriots quarterback? I think Drake May looks pretty good, actually.
No, Bears. All that was Bears.
Oh, I'm sorry, Caleb Williams. Yeah, the guy that paints his fingernails. Yeah, not a big believer in that. Yeah,
I was so right on that guy. It's not even funny. Before the
you
season,
and me both, brother. I
Bears fans
never
think
saw
they
it.
got it. Sam,
in May, I
Millie,
think it was May.
Dad,
There's a tweet.
they think Caleb's it.
I put it under Kurt
Right
Begging's
now.
like bold prediction. I said Caleb Williams is going to be the 4th worst quarterback in his league this year, in his division this year. And I don't know how many bookmarks that had. This is prime bookmark material, and I've been going back every week when he stinks and putting eyeball emojis on every single comment that bookmarked it every week.
Huh? What?
Every week. That's so petty, but guess what? I was right, and
I
you
love
were
petty.
right.
I live the petty life. It's how
That's
I
right.
roll. It's the
It's
only
called
reason.
Wow.
petty.
Okay, so what's your guys' take on the Packers Eagles for Jason?
Okay,
But I wanna hit the rest of the
fine, Isaac. Fine. We'll talk about
I
your
mean,
team. God.
I could do the sidebar all night. But
So
Just
Jay,
push-
he only
push your
wants to
square all the
hear
way over.
Sam and Millie goes
because
Whoever
I
wants.
he doesn't want us.
Go ahead, Millie. Go ahead. Give
Oh, both of these teams start slow. I don't. Both of these teams start very, very slow. So I don't know. And Jalen Hurts coming back off of a concussion. That's probably the only chance. The Packers have to run the football. They have got to run the football. Period.
They
I
have
don't know
no
if they're going to be able to, but they have to run the football. I don't really think you can put it in Jordan Love's hands. No offense, guys. I've seen him play. He turns it on at the end of games for some reason, but I don't know. I don't know if you want to get a shootout with all the weapons that the Eagles have. So the best chance the Packers have is to get out early because we've never really seen the Eagles play from behind this year. They're bullies. Their defense is good though.
You've seen us play fine. We play great once we're down 20.
I hate.
Yeah, me too. What does that say? Anyway,
I hate both of these teams. No offense. I don't really want either one of these teams to win.
Hey, Millie, that's not petty life. That's just straight hate, bro.
I got Eagles fans who are good friends of mine. I got Packers fans who are good friends of mine. And every time we beat them, they're just lucky the Niners aren't in the playoffs this year. So we smoke both of them. But anyways,
They do that and then they don't finish ever. That's the thing they do.
Millie.
They do that and then you guys do that and then you don't finish.
That's all right. Every
frustrating.
January and February you get to watch the Niners just come to Green Bay or wherever Green Bay goes and end their season. That's what happens.
I know. I hate
Anyways,
you guys.
true
It's like
story.
us against Dallas. We beat Dallas. You guys beat us. It's really frustrating.
Y'all making it so hot in here. I gotta open a cherry Dr. Pepper. Thank you.
Love it.
Pinky out.
I don't know. I think
I think it's gonna be
Packers
close.
last year went into Dallas and absolutely
There
smoked,
you go.
they smoked Dallas. So I don't
That
know.
was the playoffs.
I
It was
agree.
wild card.
They have it in there, but
We
they're
got
just
it.
they're
We
gonna
got-
have to possess the ball. They
We
have to
got to
possess
get
the ball.
that. We got to get that back, right, Millie?
I agree. They have to make a choice on defense as well. The Packers do. Do you want to stop the run,
Yes.
or do you want
Exactly.
to let Jalen? Do you want to let Jalen Hurts try to beat you with his arm because he's feeling himself right now after he did it against the Steelers, which come to find out Steelers suck.
And I'm going to interrupt you a little bit. I'm just going to say, Isaac and I talked about this earlier.
Jason gave up on us. He just gave a score.
We have to make
You
the
did. It's like,
decision to stop
wait.
Barkley. That's
All
the
right,
decision.
whatever.
From a
You did what?
defensive perspective, we got to make
Sam's
the
gotta go in
decision
a
to
second.
stop Barkley to stop the run. Go ahead.
You're
Yeah.
fine.
Are we going to be able to stop AJ Brown if we stop Barkley? That's my only concern because AJ Brown is good enough to rip us apart, as good as we are on
I'm
our
more
pass
worried
game.
about Barkley than I am anybody else.
I would rather
agree.
I would rather make Jalen Hurts beat you.
Oh, absolutely. I'd load up. I would load up. I'd blitz. I would make Hurts move. I know it wasn't a leg injury, but I would make him I'd make the dude get out of the pocket. I would sell out to stop Barkley and to stop Hurts from beating you scrambling and see if the dude can do it. My concern, Millie and Sam, is I don't know. I think we can slow their offense down. They have the best defense in football. Ours is actually top 10. Can we get points on them, though, is my concern.
Run the ball.
I
Gotta
agree,
run.
dude. Sam,
Make
all right,
it.
your take. What you got?
All right. Well, I'm going to wait till Millie's done. See, I'm going to wait until he finishes and I start
Good.
talking. Millie, are you finished, bud? Are you finished?
I
No, man.
don't think it's going to be that high scoring. I think it's going to be like 28 or
There
maybe
you
24 to 20, something like that.
Don't take it personal, Isaac. Come
No.
on.
Oh,
Rally.
no, I'm good. You're
Rally.
good.
Rally.
This is kind of fun. This is 2 shows in a row I've gotten crap the whole time. I love it. Let's just make it a streak. If it happens, if I have another show after the Packer game they lose, it's going to be 3 in a row. So
Isaac,
keep it going.
it's going to be all right. Come on, man.
It's
Anyway,
okay. I'll be okay.
so I look at these teams, and I really enjoyed watching the Packers every now and then, but they are such what I like to call a light switch team. If they're on, they're on. They look great. They'll move the ball, whatever. If they're off, I have Jordan Love throwing his hands up in the air after everything and shaking his head, walking to the sidelines and whatever else, and Matt LaFleur yelling at Lions fans or whatever. Anyway, so they've got to be on here, but I don't think they can stop. I think eventually the Eagles are just going to just outplay them. I think it's going to be pretty close at halftime, and then the third and fourth, the Eagles will start to get out of there.
Talent will take over, unfortunately, for the Packers. The Eagles have one of the best rosters in football. And, well, counterpoint for the Packers, it's not a divisional game, so they might actually win it.
Yeah.
Golly, Millie.
Not the Bears.
Isaac, what did you do? What did you do, Isaac?
Well, I talked to him before after he beat my team, so I don't know what I took the shot. I've taken a couple of shots at him that they don't win Super Bowls, but he says he's here to help.
Every time I chime in there, you and Jones are like, what are y'all doing in Jan? I'm like, I got nothing for that, but I mean, you're right. But at the
What are you
same
doing
time,
this year? We don't know what you're going to be doing in future Januaries either, because y'all have got a lot of.
here he goes.
You got a lot of stuff to figure out.
Here he goes.
You put a quarter in the jukebox, you're going to hear it song.
A lot of
You know what I'm
stuff,
saying?
man. You got to figure out Debo. You guys paid Ayuk, and he's hurt. Purdy regressed this year. McCaffrey is hurt again.
Isaac's eyebrows are way up. They're disappearing under his hat because you're getting him going. That's what happened.
Oh, I like this one. All the Eagles fans are going to say at the end of the game, love
San Fran drafts Genty.
It's Love Stinks is the song, guys. Not Love Hurts. Love Stinks.
Dad, what was that? What'd you say?
San Fran drafts Genty in the first round.
Oh, I would love that.
Ooh,
Can you imagine?
Genty's going to be fun. Sam,
That's
this
the way
is
to go
fun. I
right
love
there.
having you on. You're like, this is entertaining.
That's
And
great.
I haven't had Millie on since, dude,
It's been a while.
April? March?
Well, you know why? Like if it's before 9 o'clock, I have to be 9:30 or later. That's when all of our stuff goes.
Yeah,
on.
I got to go 8 or later with me
Yeah.
because I got the twin 3-year-olds and the 1-year-old that ruin my life every day. So
Ruin it with
love
love.
in the
Dude,
best
I
possible
text this
way.
show. I need your wife's Facebook so I can be like, hey, at 1:12 in 30 seconds, you're gonna hear the best thing right there.
My wife doesn't run the house anymore. That we have a twin. One of the twins' name is Bonnie, and she is in charge now. It's no longer our decision, and that's okay. These things happen, you know. I didn't think she would do it at the age of 3, but you know, these things happen.
My 5-year-old tries to run the house. We have to remind her every now and then. She runs it sometimes, and we're like, hey, yeah, we got to listen sometimes. And now we've got a puppy too, so
Oh, great! Wow, all right. Everybody's
I
just,
know
it's just coming up Isaac all in the house right now, is it?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
What's our next game? What did you guys pick the Broncos game yet? That'd be good.
No, we started with Houston. We started with the first game.
Houston's gonna lose next.
That's my take too. He took
Houston.
I took
Billy, who do you
Chargers.
got?
The Chargers D is too good, and Harbaugh, man.
CJ Stroud stinks against too high look, and that's what San Diego or San Diego.
Guys, I beat Houston with the too high look. My team, the worst team in football, beat Houston in the too high look. I'm
the only one going Houston here. Let's remember that.
I'm not saying
Texans at home. I think they got enough.
I think CJ Stroud gets it together, but he does not do well against this type of defense with the two high safeties.
He's a weird cat, you know.
I agree.
I want to pick Houston. Like that's.
Do you guys believe in CJ Stroud, or do you think it's receiver? Do you think it's the receiver injuries, or do you guys think Stroud?
No,
up and down.
Line, man.
I can tell you for a fact that like when we play them, that Stroud has these weird things where he can't hit a guy 10 yards, but he'll hit a guy 40 yards down the field. Yeah. It's really bizarre. Like at one point, we had a linebacker sitting right in the middle of the field, and he threw it right to him. And he did that twice that game. It made zero sense whatsoever. but he threw a pass down the sidelines on the money in coverage, right where it needed to be. I don't know why he has trouble with the shorter routes. It's utterly bizarre.
Kind of like Lamar Jackson.
I'm talking about you can watch the highlights. I'm talking about interceptions where the guy literally, the defender usually just got down on one knee and intercepted the ball. Like it was that mind blowing to me.
And their offense was really anemic this year, dude. Their defense is really good. D'Amico Ryan's footprints all over the team.
I think a lot of
I just want to go on record to say that I'm going Houston. Everybody else is going
all right.
Chargers.
I'm with you. I believe in Houston.
Oh, you coming to Houston? You going with Houston?
I don't know. Everybody thought Cleveland was going to run in there last year and beat the wheels off of them.
So here's the shtick. If the Chargers win, the Chargers curse is broken, right? At that point, right?
Oh,
Chargers
We trust Justin Herbert in the playoffs. I mean, I know it's
Heaven.
Harbaugh.
You guys ever say Herbert in a Boston accent? It's pretty fun. Not gonna lie. Just saying.
He called him Hebert for the longest time. I was like, Dad. My dad called him Hebert. Hebert.
Dude, this game here is turning.
And I kept correcting him, and then he kept doing it, and I was like, "Oh, he's doing it on purpose."
So you're rooting for Houston this weekend?
I'm a Houston fan.
I'm a Houston fan.
Jason says
think
Chargers.
You're right, Jason. Don't listen to him.
Get it done. I do understand the too high, but it's a playoff game. I think they'll figure it out. But
and the Chargers are road favorites. They're 3-point favorites.
Being a road favorite in the playoffs is strange.
Okay, so we were in the middle of the Steelers-Ravens take, and then Millie came in. I don't think we ever finished it. We sidebarred, which was fun.
Well, the Steelers and the Ravens take was pretty
Sure.
lopsided so far. So
does anybody here go in Steelers? And if
we just
so,
don't
I want to
think
hear your
the
take.
Steelers.
I hate betting against Mike Tomlin. I hate it. I hate it so much.
I bet him to cover for sure.
Yeah, I bet them to. It's a division game anyway. But like, how many times do we see the Ravens get to this point and then do something stupid like last year? Like, hey, we'll just throw the ball around even though we have the number one.
We were talking about that.
Yeah, like
run the damn ball.
Sam, you know football, even though you're a Titans fan. I'm impressed, dude. You know your ball.
I listen. Like, no joke, and this isn't boasting. Thank you, Isaac. Anyway,
I had to get one back. You've gotten 3 on me.
Oh, for heaven's sake! This isn't boasting.
And Baltimore's D has definitely, they're ready for the playoffs. And they've been doing good. So I just don't think Pittsburgh has enough, and they've been kind of floundering coming in. So this does not look like a game that's going to be close after halftime.
If I'm Pittsburgh, I say screw the throw, put everybody on that line and get after him. I will do it every single time. I have no qualms about it.
They should just go. I know they're a zone blitz
team,
but
somebody said
they should. Their zone blitz scheme. The Steelers are, but they should go man coverage and just say, "Hey, we're gonna let Rashad Bateman and Nelson Aguilar and Tylan Wallace
and Mark Andrews."
Yeah, Mark Andrews. And now, I mean, they do like to run. Baltimore likes to run 2 tight end sets.
Yeah, so, they're really good with that because likely Andrews are a duo at tight end, but I agree. The Zay Flowers injury, it really impacts this game.
It does.
But I mean, Pickens, I feel like the Pickens thing is overblown with the Steelers. That dude, if you look at his targets versus his catches, the dude barely catches over half his targets and only had 900 yards this year. If he's that important to the Steelers, they've got bigger problems. I know that they've built a good defense, but they got just destroyed the last 4 games, and a lot of that was on defense. They got to get some playmakers for whoever the quarterback is going to be in the future. They used to have Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown and Emmanuel Sanders. This is so far away from that. The Steelers have got to revamp that offense.
Away from here.
This has eventually got to fall on Tomlin a little bit, that the offense is this anemic.
It always falls on Tomlin. Do you ever look at Pittsburgh fans during the offseason? Like, is it time to fire him? 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 This is one of the best coaches of all time.
Oh, yeah, I know. He's not the GM, but it's like at some point he's going to keep winning regular season games because he is who he is. And they're probably going to eventually get another quarterback because that's just what the Steelers do. They're good at finding quarterbacks. Big Ben, even though, I mean, I don't know how history looks at him, but he was an all-time great. And it's
His
hard to
attitude
replace
was
those.
horrible.
Yeah,
That's what the
I mean,
history
it's
looks
like
at.
it's like Aaron
Still
Rodgers.
is.
Yeah,
But the
exactly.
Patriots are going through this. It took them a couple seasons. I think Drake May is it. They did it faster than a lot of other teams do. The Packers just get stupid lucky with us, even though Jordan Love doesn't look great right now. Let's give him some more time. But we went from Favre to Rodgers. Other than the 49ers,
Wait
Millie
till you
knows
see him this weekend.
doesn't
against
happen.
Philly. We'll be talking about him next week.
I hope you're right. I've been not as I was off him last year though too. He's
But let's
been
finish with
wildly
this
up and
game. I
down his
think this
career.
is a tune-up game for Baltimore. They're just
Yes.
tuning up for the run that they're going to make.
I don't think
Pittsburgh
they're
doesn't
gonna
have
make a
enough. What's that?
run. I don't think they're going to make a run.
No.
You don't think the Ravens are? Who do you got coming out of the AFC, Millie?
Buffalo.
That was my pick
I
too.
like Buffalo for sure.
I-
But I'm
Buffalo.
starting to believe in Baltimore. I think it could be. I don't think the Chiefs are going anywhere. I really don't.
Buffalo needs to figure it out. I have raised an
hope so.
eyebrow. I've raised an eyebrow at Josh Allen ever since Bengals went up there in their weather, in their stadium, and just boat raced them.
That was the
shouldn't
DeMar.
happen.
That was the DeMar Hamlin year, though, wasn't it?
I think so. I don't. I just know that Josh Allen was straight terrible that game in their house. Like, and they were like the tops of the league, and they lost it to the Bengals.
Yep.
In the weather that they like. So, like
Joe
that's
Burrow, man. He's a slayer, Sam. He slays. This
I hear
dude
you.
has
Look,
slayed
I want
Mahomes.
to
He
believe.
slayed Josh Allen.
hey, prove me wrong. Go up, win this game. Go win this game. Get to the AFC Championship. Win that game. Get to the Super Bowl. I need to see it.
What's
I'm with
what's
you.
our score on Baltimore Pittsburgh? Isaac, what do you got?
Ooh, I will go. I do think there's a chance they cover, but you know what? I don't believe in the Steelers team. I'm gonna go 30-20 Ravens. They'll barely
30 to
cover.
20.
27-20 for Ravens.
27-24 Ravens.
I think this is ugly. I think it's just like 21-19. No,
Woo!
I think it's 20-19 Steelers. I think it's just an absolute slop fest.
Steelers
Man,
cover.
Steelers, you going
Steelers win.
Steelers,
I think
maybe?
Steelers win. I think they win.
Ooh,
Oh, wow.
All right.
I'm gonna go 24-6 Baltimore.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh wow. Blowout.
Oh,
All
didn't
right.
even let him score a touchdown, huh?
No, a couple
So-
field goals.
We kind of segued into it because I got some other fun questions
Chris
for you guys.
Boswell
but
is a freak show.
Boswell's been doing good, right?
Yeah.
I want to hit all the games because I got some other fun questions for you guys. But let's hit this. I'm curious on this Broncos Bills game. Sam
Is
asked
that the
about
next? Is that the next game on the list?
It is the next game in order too. Do you guys give the Broncos a legit chance? Because if Josh Allen is that great, I think they need to put a stamp and just decimate this Denver team.
They
But
should.
They should.
They should.
They should. But the Denver defense is for
Well, like what
real.
Sam just pointed out.
Yeah.
Allen can have bad games, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Bad. Very bad.
Not this season, but yeah, most years he does. This year
Regular
he's been
season, no, but like the playoffs. We see
Yeah.
Josh Allen get to the playoffs, and we've seen him poop
Yeah.
the bed. So
same
don't
with
poop the
me and
bed.
Lamar. It's
and
a
Denver
very
D
similar
is
story.
good this year, right?
Who,
They
Josh
are.
Allen?
They're good.
Josh
Oh,
Allen,
they're-
I don't know, man. His stats are outrageous in the playoffs. His team looks bad.
They
But,
are.
I mean, what else can you do but get down the field and go toe to toe with Mahomes and 13 seconds left, and your defense can't cover number 87? Like, I don't know.
But
man.
last year was interesting with Josh Allen and Lamar because there was plays they both had that were there for them in their games. Lamar could
yeah.
have scrambled a little more if he could have hit the intermediate pass. Josh Allen kept going for deep shots in a one-score game, and I watched several plays where he had dudes over the middle of the field and was throwing it deep to Diggs, and he was forcing it.
At the end of the game, you remember against the Chiefs where he underthrew Khalil Shakir, hit him in
Yeah,
the right of his
10 yards
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
Jones made a play on one of them where he got to him and he had the guy open, but Chris Jones pressured him and
This
hit
game
him.
is in Buffalo. Is the weather affecting the game?
Ooh,
No.
let me pull. I don't
The
Well,
weather they supposedly love. Yeah.
Here's a real stat that we have to consider. Since 2017, Broncos coach Sean Payton records against bald head coaches is 30-12.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh,
You think Sean's ready for him? He could be.
I mean, the record speaks for itself. 30-12 against bald head coaches since 2017. You show me somebody who's better against bald head coaches.
I love the stats, Millie. If you guys don't watch his show, he comes up with this stuff. Oh
can't argue
man,
against
And
that.
it didn't process that you said bald head coaches. And I was like, surely he's not
There's
saying
sec-
that. You're just dumb. You're
No,
dumb. There's no way
Here, dude,
he's saying that.
I can send it to
And
you.
I'm like, everybody was kind of quiet. So I'm like, I don't have anybody to whisper to.
I don't
but
think
I'm like,
anybody,
the hell did he just say? He
nobody
said bald
understood.
head coach.
I got more. Trust me. I got all these. Look, man, I got.
Oh, great.
There's yes. I went down a rabbit hole on the Minnesota and Rams game being moved to Arizona. So I got
Mhm.
stuff on that whenever that comes around. But
Oh, we'll get there.
teaser.
Nice.
Have you guys met each other though? Have you ever done a show, or do you guys know each other on Twitter?
I don't think we've ever done a show together.
No, I
This is fun. I'm happy that you both popped on. This is awesome.
I'm just like
So-
a friendly dude, I guess. I don't know.
This is
So I
entertaining.
think
Yeah, brother.
I think Houston covers. I think Houston wins at home. I know you guys don't think that. I think Baltimore, no
Okay.
problem against Pittsburgh. Denver's got a shot to upset here.
They do.
have a shot.
I just
It's a-
gave you the
It's 9.
stat.
The line is 9. Buffalo. The betting public, and I don't love just doing this,
But
but
this is a
it's interesting
good
to me.
defense and a quarterback
Let's
who's
see.
proven. I know he's a rookie. He's proven that he can play. He can make the throws. I'm not going Denver. I'm not going to go Denver. Don't get me wrong. I'm going Buffalo. But
Buffalo's the only team to beat Detroit and KC this year.
Should be a good game.
Buffalo, the rest of the league against Detroit and KC, other than Baker, is terrible. And Josh Allen beat both those teams this year. Those
Denver
are two of
cannot run
biggest
the
statement
football.
wins.
If you want to beat Buffalo, you have to run the football. Denver.
And they got to commit.
Got to take time away off the clock. Got
Yeah.
to.
They're
Yeah.
actually middle of the pack,
Fair, I
really.
agree
But
with
they're
that.
16th, but they're not. They don't have a dude. They don't have. I
It's not-
want
yeah.
that one guy. They got a
Yeah.
committee, and it's not. Peyton's great, and he'll probably maybe he's done better than expected this season. But this is the playoffs. Buffalo's going to try to take that away. And Buffalo's pretty solid against the
Mix
rush.
is the
They're just
right quarterback for Peyton's system.
now the one
Yep.
one area where Denver has a chance is they're first in sacks, but 63. So if they can make life hell for Josh Allen, that's where they get a
Yeah,
chance.
but good luck trying to. I'm just sorry. He's an alien. He's just.
I
An
think
alien.
they cover. I think the Bills win by
He has
17.
fish eyes, though. They're kind of to the
30.
side.
I'm going to go like 34-17. I think it could be even bigger than that. It's Nick's
So
first
you
game. I
got
like this kid.
Buffalo 34-17, Isaac?
Yeah, I think Josh Allen, this is a statement game for him and probably his first MVP season. And he wants to get this. He just got engaged. He wants to get that other ring.
Can
The
you
Super
give me the
Bowl.
stats on Denver's D real quick? Do you got Denver's D up there?
Oh, yeah, I don't know all of them. Like I said,
Isaac.
Denver's D.
I can't see your face because I'm flipping screens, but I'm going to give you a stink eye in a second.
We're all flicking you off right now, all of us, not just me. Double birdie. Double birdies all around.
I flipped it back. You're not. All right. Denver is the AFC West is crazy with defenses. Like where the NFC North is stacked with talent. The AFC West, other than the Raiders, and they're not that bad. The Chargers, the Chiefs, and the Broncos D's are ridiculous. The Broncos are third in overall D. Buffalo, shockingly, in points is 11th. They're not bad. People thought they were worse. In yards, Denver is 7th overall, 19th against the pass, third against the rush. Buffalo is 17th. They're down at 24th against the pass, but 12th against the run. But where the difference is, you saw it right there. Denver's D is better. Denver gets pressure, like I said. First in sacks with 63. Buffalo's even worse than Green Bay. They're down at 21st with only 37 sacks. They barely have over half the sacks Denver does, but both teams are top 10 interceptions. Buffalo's fifth there. On offense, it's the flip story. Buffalo's second in points. Denver's down at 10th, and Buffalo wins every category in offense in a landslide. So it's all Buffalo offense,
Okay,
Denver
That
D.
makes sense. Yeah, I see.
I just think Josh Allen's too much.
Sam,
Yes.
you ready to do your prediction?
Yeah, sure. I'm going to go Buffalo here. I think they take care of business, but I just purely based on Bo Nix as a rookie, and a rookie in the playoffs, it can be very bad for the most part. More times or not, they have a rough time. So I think the excellence of Josh Allen will show here. But I think it'll get interesting. I think they'll go tit for tat for a couple of seconds or a couple of quarters, and then things will start to pull away. So
Kind of like the Green Bay Philly. Yeah, I can see
Yep.
that. Good take. So, what's your score?
34-20. I think.
Close to mine.
Yeah, I think Josh starts putting on a show later in the game.
Millie, did you give a score?
No, I think 41-20. I think it's 40. I think it's 40.
Woo! Kill him.
That's a
I think
big
we're gonna
one.
score
Kill him. Kill him.
40 burger.
Oh, I like it.
40.
Hey, by the way, I'm going to ask you both right now. I want to get the same panel on before the NFL draft in April. My wife may not to go.
I'll be there.
She might
I'll be
have
there.
another. Wait, really?
Yeah, I'll be there. I was in Detroit last year too.
I want to
Nice.
go to Green Bay if I can pull.
I make the trip. I make the trip.
Wait, let me give a score on this Buffalo.
Oh yeah,
game.
Dad, my bad. What you got?
Jeez, Isaac. God, it's your dad.
Damn.
Wow.
I think the defense. I think Denver defense is going to be a little tricky in this game. Bo Nix does make a couple of turnovers. Let's go 24-13 Buffalo.
Ooh,
Low
nice.
score,
It's
huh?
like a game where like Bo Nix could win it or something, but then he like throws and it's intercepted and it's run back.
There you go.
It just feels like that kind of.
No, I don't.
And
I hate Bo Nix.
Hamlin takes it back, right?
You hate Bo Nix too, man?
I hate Bo Nix because
Millie, who
Well,
hurt?
Oh, really?
my Joe Burrow hurt me in my fantasy football championship, right? If Bo Nix didn't throw that stupid touchdown at the end, and Jake Brown was a complete jabroni, I would have won a fantasy football championship.
Shit.
But
I
no,
got one. I got one.
there you
I
go.
got a
man.
title. I need a trophy now.
You get
I
a
told
ring.
my
Get a ring
dad-
on Amazon. You can buy a ring.
I think
Buy a
about
ring.
it, but I want
Why the John
trophy
Cena
for my-
rotating belt, baby?
I got to get something because I finished first and third, but in our dynasty league we both missed the playoffs. As our first year doing it, we're gonna keep it. We're gonna start another one. I'm kind of excited, dude. Millie, I'm sorry, man. That sucks. That's a
So-
reason to have some
Okay,
hatred,
well,
man.
hey, what's the next game?
Well, you know what it is. You know what it is. Green Bay
Is
Philly.
it time for Green Bay Philly?
Oh,
Okay.
Is it
Lord.
time?
Should we let the guest start, Dad, or should we kick it? What
Yes,
do you
I
think?
think we better let the guests go.
Okay, so Sam or Millie, who wants to fight for it?
Are we
Okay,
just giving picks, predictions, or what? Like,
Give
What
us
do
a
you want?
breakdown on this. And
I
then-
just, it's
Breakdown,
like we said. I don't.
earlier.
They're gonna make Jordan Love try to beat him. They're not gonna let Josh Jacobs beat him.
Nope.
Yeah.
They're not gonna let Josh Jacobs beat him. So they'll have they'll probably play a lot of one high looks. I'm not sure what their base defense is, but they'll probably have that safety down and say, Josh Jacobs, you're not going to do what Josh Jacobs does. So Jordan Love and your now injured wide receiver core. Let's see how you do. Let's see how well you do against Quinyon Mitchell and what's his face, Slay. So that's who
And
they need to
Deshaun.
go after. Oh, what's
And
his
Deshaun.
face? Your tight end needs to have a big game. Look for
Yes, he
for old-
does.
That's the guy on offense that could probably
And Jaden
sneak
Reed.
away. So
I'm looking for Dontavian Wicks and Jaden Reed to step it up, frick up, or Dubs. He always does in the playoffs. He did last year too. He was a beast last year against Dallas.
but I don't know. I think talent wise they're at a disadvantage. They're gonna have to be creative. LaFleur, always creative, so he's gonna have to find a way to eat clock and put pressure on the Philly offense to get the most out of their drives, if that makes sense. You got to
there
get.
was-
It's imperative
Yeah.
for them to score early. It's imperative for them to score early if they want to have a chance.
If there's a weakness on this Philly D, they get less pressure than the Packers do. So Love may get more time than expected. In the first game, their defense didn't do a lot, but that was in Brazil. So Millie, I'm
Well,
with you.
it doesn't count because it was out of the country. I get it. Yeah.
That's what people say too. I've heard that so many times this year. I've heard that game didn't. That field was Jason. Hey, Jason.
Hey, the field.
Tell me what
was-
you thought of that. It was the
Field was-
field. It was bad, but Sam, what's your thoughts?
I'm with Millie. I think you're going to see a lot of the linebackers cheat up to the line quite a bit before the snap of the ball. I think they're going to blow through holes. I think they're going to dare them. They're going to dare them to do it. And Matt LaFleur is very inventive, and he can get these short passes and turn them into 15 or 20. But it's got to work. Like I said earlier, they're a light switch team. If it's on and everybody's on the same page, then it's fine. But I think talent-wise, I think the problem is you can watch Philadelphia Hurts bootleg to the right and then take off, and people have trouble keeping up with him, the Packers and anybody else that goes against him. If I see Hurts already getting like 50 rushing yards before the half or something like that, you're not winning that game. They're going to absolutely boat race you. So
there's a chance Hurts is a little rusty after missing 3 or 4 weeks.
Did we give scores already, or are we just
we're doing scores at the after?
Okay, all right. Thanks, Dad. Appreciate you. So I don't know why that's funny, but yeah, no. If I see Hurts running around like a madman and getting yards and sliding down and stuff like that, and we see like 3 tush pushes, then you guys are in trouble, big trouble.
God, I know. I'm so tired of that flipping tush push.
We all are. We hate it, but it is fun to go tush push.
It's so funny. The teams I hate the most, I end up having the most friends on, like the freaking Bears or like the 49ers or the stupid Eagles. The teams that cause me frustration and pain, I tend to be friends with all the fans of their stupid teams. Really.
Gap integrity is what they need to have on defense for the Packers. They cannot get upfield and let because that's what these quarterbacks like to run. They want to pat the ball, sit back there, and then they want to dart up and then move to the right. They cannot allow that to happen.
We're good at that against the running back. We suck against that against opposing quarterbacks. I want to see. I agree with you.
Coordinator, that's what you got to do.
Because Hurts there's a reason I kept him over Baker, because he's a killer, because he's such a good runner. And it's in short yardage, he's a good runner. He poaches TDs. But
and those of us that had oh my God, he fell down. Those of us that
I got somebody watching this game other than me.
Guys, Caleb Williams got pranked by a guy that was pretending to be Ben Johnson, and the guy shared the text messages on Twitter. Yes. Hold on. I'll send it to you in chat. This is so bad. This is so bad.
Great. I'm gonna read this. So my wife's not watching, but she's sending me TikToks during the show.
Well, doesn't sound very supportive.
She's like, it's over an hour.
I slid it up into your DMs, Isaac. So.
Did you?
Oh, your dad's gone. What happened? Oh, there he is.
He's back.
Okay.
He's back.
You disappointed him so badly.
Hey.
So I don't know. I think the Eagles win, but I think it's close. I don't know.
So bad.
Thing. That's funny. I like that. That's good.
Is it my turn to go?
Go ahead.
Yeah, Dad, what you got?
I think we're underestimating Matt LaFleur, Jordan Love, the impact of having one of the better running backs, one of the better running backs in the NFL, with Jacobs. Our offensive line is improved. Our receiving core is a solid group of receivers. I don't think teams want to play the Packers in the playoffs, to be honest. I know we haven't looked like world beaters, but if like what Sam said, when does that light switch on, and when is the light switch on? When's it off? In the playoffs last year, it was on, right? And I just think that Matt LaFleur is going to come with a game plan that Jordan Love's going to, and Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love, they work well together. I have a lot of confidence in that offense to be able to put some points on the board. This is a tough Philadelphia team that they are stacked. Millie, you're right about talent, but we're catching up. The Packers are catching up. We have an improved defense. We've got, we added McKinney, right? We have a young linebacker in Cooper who's doing really well. We do have Quay Walker out. If we can slow down Barkley, if we can contain explosive runs and explosive plays, if we can keep those to a minimum and allow and Love, and you're right, Jacobs does need to be able to get some yards and run the ball. If we can slow down that offense enough where we can get points on the board, we could pull an upset here in Philly. Philly's not unbeatable, and that's my take.
I don't think they're unbeatable either. I don't put the ball in Jalen Hurts' hands. You have to get up on them early. Yeah. You have to make them throw you cannot let them
make Jalen make mistakes, right? Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah, you put the game in his hands, because if you let him do their tush push and let him give the ball to Saquon 40 times, like the Packers are going to lose that game.
Right.
But
We have got to focus on Barkley on defense, and I believe our defensive coordinator is having a good year. Our defense is having a pretty good year. We are improved on defense. I think we could be up to the task. I'm not sure, but I think.
Don't worry, Sam. I gave her crap for not watching.
Well, go ahead, Isaac. You're up.
What did you do? Did you
like,
slap
"You're not
her?
watching the
Oh my
show."
gosh! Oh my gosh!
No, man. When she does watch, I'm like, hey, you watched. Heck yeah. That's support right there. She usually watches after the Packers lose because she
Come
gets a
feed
kick
the
out-
dog.
She gets a kick out of my dude. I take playoff losses hard. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of them. Man, the Packers. What's annoying is they were so close so many times with Rodgers, and it just became like an annual. I was like, we're gonna lose. We're not gonna win a Super Bowl. Like after that first one, after a few losses, I was like, man, they're gonna. Yeah. Anyways, I gotta see more from Love, and my standard of quarterback is high. Like it's like the 49ers. Millie's had Steve Young. I don't know if he's around my age, but probably don't remember Joe Montana and Steve Young. But you have some, ridiculous quarterback play. Garoppolo, not so much, but Purdy's shown some serious flashes. Love has shown some flashes, but I need to see more here. Like the dude has got serious arm talent. He does this crap where he wants to throw it off his back foot all the time. It's like, dude, set your feet and release. And I can't tell if he's not confident in the receivers or if it's LaFleur not confident in him. It kind of feels like the training wheels get put back on a lot of the time. The offense just lacks, in these big games, it lacks any fluidity. It lacks any energy, synergy, whatever you want to go to.
Hold on,
lacks
for a second.
anything in the first half.
Are you when you said big games? Are you talking about the playoffs last year, like the Dallas game? And
I'm talking about I'm talking about like the
those
5
are big
opportunities
games
this year. Love wasn't that great in the
with
Eagles
Love
game.
and Matt LaFleur together. But go
Okay,
ahead,
this season, all of the games against the Lions and the Vikings and the Eagles, he didn't show up in the first half in any of
regular
them.
season games. I got you.
Yeah, I mean, last year in the playoffs, he didn't play that great against San Fran, if we're being honest either. But he destroyed Dallas, and he looked great in the second half of the season. So I thought he was piecing something together. I need to see more from this dude. I think there's more there, but he took a step back this year. It wasn't as big of a step as CJ Stroud, but I think Stroud has more built-in excuses. Like Sam knows, though, I think there's bigger issues with Stroud. But if the Packers are going to go on a playoff run, Love's going to have to play. He's going to have to be a top 10 quarterback.
You have to ball up.
And this year, I don't know if he's been a top 10 quarterback. Darnold's
he's going to have the chance because Philadelphia does not really get after the quarterback at all.
And
No,
Hurts is,
exactly.
if we're being honest here, Jalen Hurts is really not that great. He's regressed a lot. But Love could be the better quarterback, and we might have the better coach in this game. The problem is Philly is just so freaking stacked on D. It's going to be tough. The first team to score 24 might win this game.
Agreed.
Woo!
They got to get on them early.
All right.
We don't fall down by 10.
Points.
If we fall down by 10, it's going to take Jacobs out of the game. And that's one of the reasons we lost. We almost beat Detroit in that one game because we were down 10, but we were able to stay with the running game in the second half. When we are a run-oriented first team, we are incredibly difficult to beat. And we did not get destroyed by any of these amazing teams. We made runs, but they were garbage time runs in a lot of them. They just weren't.
Give us your prediction of your points.
I'm going Philly wins 28-24.
I love how hopeful you were about your Packers. You're like, Philly wins 28.
I'm going.
You got to pick your team. Do it over. Go back.
All right, fine.
Be biased. Be biased.
Okay, Green Bay wins 30-27.
There we go.
All right, that's better. Look at it.
Nothing wrong with that.
Biased.
You're telling me on my show I'm going to get more views if I lie to people and pick my team every time?
Yes.
Hey, that's showbiz, baby. That's just how it is.
All right, people. So from now on, you can expect total lies from me.
What's your real prediction?
I just don't believe in Love. I'm
worried.
Whoa, dude. Love is everywhere. Love is out there.
That's
I tell you what, not just for Millie.
You're just
Hey,
being
F it.
harsh.
You know what?
Nuggets.
F it. I'm gonna go and pick my team. Here's the problem. Here's what happens though. I'm gonna pick my team, so my heart is gonna start believing they're gonna win on Sunday, and then I'm gonna text Sam. I'm gonna message. I'm gonna be like, my effing Packers effing lost. I'm gonna message Millie. I'm gonna be like, I'm
So you
gonna be mad.
you think they're gonna lose?
No, I'll just pick them. Fine. 30-27.
Bias
Okay.
take.
I'm going Green Bay, and I'm gonna say
I almost
last
picked
second
them.
field goal 29-28.
McManus.
McManus.
I don't think 30 is going to win
No.
this, man. The defense.
29,
He's right
28.
though. The last time the Packers had a top 10, it's not top 5, it's top 10. Last time the Packers had a top 10 offense and defense, they've
They
done
won
it
the Super
once.
Bowl.
Well, they did it one other time with Rodgers, but the time before that, they did win a Super Bowl. So
and they were a wild card team.
I just think they're lacking.
sweet.
My
Jake.
biggest problem with the Packers is I just think they're lacking that pass rusher or that alpha receiver. The last time they won a Super Bowl, they had Jordy Nelson. That dude's ridiculous.
All right.
Jason,
Yeah,
clothing-
I will
clothing-
say this: if we slow down Saquon, we could win this game. Going to Detroit, as banged up as they are on D, it is super hard to beat a 3. Here's the. Let me lay out the Packers Super Bowl run, because this is how it happens. We go into Philly. We actually don't start slow, which happens in the playoffs sometimes. We get ahead on them 10-0. Then we can lean on Josh Jacobs. There's more pressure on Jalen Hurts. We get some blitz packages. Jalen Hurts makes a mistake or two. We limit Saquon. They fall out of the game because we're up by 2 scores. Saquon can't be used. I lost the 2 guests because they're like, no, he's lying to everybody now. And the Packers upset Philly. They get some confidence. They go into Detroit. And they actually upset Detroit because it's really hard to beat a team 3 times.
Dude,
Then we get
You went too far.
Minnesota. Then we get Minnesota in
No,
the
Minnesota's
conference
losing.
championship.
Minnesota's
We
losing
get-
to the Rams.
We get Tampa in the conference championship.
There we go. I like that. I like
And
that.
it's Love against Baker. And that defense can't stop a nosebleed. And we win a shootout, go to the Super Bowl, and we're playing, let's say, Kansas City with their
No,
anemic
Bills.
selves. And we beat them and get our 5th Super Bowl ring.
That's
Wow,
I don't think it
no,
happens
now
this
we're
year, but that's how it happens. That's how it happens.
Let me just say
I can tell a
one
good
thing.
story.
Isaac. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. You got it.
Yeah, you go. Go
I
ahead.
had to
You go ahead.
sneeze. I had to sneeze. Matt LaFleur's been doing this thing where when they win the coin flip, they started this last year. I think it was might have been in the playoffs against Dallas. They win the coin flip and they take the ball because they
Yeah.
want to go down and score. Well,
I
if they
think they
do that
should.
with Philly, they better damn well have a good first quarter and get some points on the board.
If
You
I'm
know,
not watching the game with my
you
wife,
can't
I'm gonna
get
do a
Billy the
watch. I'm
ball.
gonna do a watch party. If I'm not watching the game with my wife, I might do a watch party. But I want to watch it with her because she has an Eagles shirt, so I want her to wear that Eagles shirt when the Packers beat them.
Let's go to Sam.
Now I'm believing it. Now I'm going Packers for real.
Philly
Now
Packers.
I
You have
I
to.
put myself
It's
by
the playoffs. It
I
is the
know.
playoffs. You have to put on your hat, put
No,
on your
the
gear.
Lions are beatable. Buffalo beat them. Their defense is you can score on them. We almost beat them last time. You're right, Millie. Sam,
Put
what's
your
your
hat
score?
on. You're not going to sit there and be like, I'm putting this on. Let me soggy sorrows myself. Like, no, your team's in the playoffs. You're going to put your stuff
Millie's
on.
like, I wish my team was
Hold
in
on.
the playoffs.
Hold on.
Dude,
I'm
every
adding-
time.
Pick your team. My team sucked this year.
I'm adding soggy sorrows to my dictionary right now. Hold on a second.
Go.
I'm gonna add the light switch thing too. Soggy sorrows and light switch. That's what I'm gonna remember from this show.
I'm telling you, man, you got to do it. And every year the Niners make the playoffs, I'm like, this is the year. And I watch the game every year. And
But you
obviously, the Niners.
had reasons too. I did too with Rodgers. Last year I got excited. We almost beat you guys. We played a tough ass game. We were up. You scored with a minute left. It was a hell of a game.
It was a great
frustrating. It was frustrating as hell. I was in Arizona watching this game with my dad and my friends at a sports bar, surrounded by 49ers fans.
We thought we
Sucked.
had it, Millie. We thought we
Suck,
had it.
Millie. I was in Arizona.
Oh
No
my
Cardinals fans
gosh.
there because they suck.
But
Wow.
we got to keep this thing moving. What scores do we got for Philly Green Bay?
Yeah, all right, Millie. What's your score?
Guys,
Or Sam?
this
The Rivers
game
were
is
distracted.
nuts, by the way. My score.
I know. I missed the last game
That's
and I was
college
sad.
football.
Oh shoot! It's 21-14.
Texas was on the doorstep. They had it first and goal. They ran a stupid pitch sweep like a bunch of idiots. Got sacked, lost yards. Now it's 4th and goal. They drop back to pass. Ohio State sacks a dude. Ball's on the ground. Jack Sawyer for Ohio State picks it up, scoop and score. Now it's 28.
I think you should be. I think you should be worried.
I think the Lions are going to be really tough. I think that they're going to win the Super Bowl. I think the Lions are winning the Super Bowl. That offense is legit. I don't know. Millie, who do you think's winning the Super Bowl then?
Wait, which game are we talking about? Now we're talking about
Well,
Super Bowl.
he was just saying Super Bowl. He doesn't think the Lions.
Base score.
That was
okay.
The top on the show is
I'm not a Packers fan, so I think the Eagles win 28-24. I think it's close.
Sam, what you got?
I think I exactly what Millie said, 28-24. I think they got it.
But I'm not going to sit up here and listen to you not pick your team. You have to pick your team. And I'm not saying that because I want to see you.
Team, though?
I'm not saying that because I want you to be sad. I'm saying that because if I'm in your shoes, there is no way that I'm getting in. I'm going to pick my team, and if they lose, so be it. But when they win, oh my gosh, you better not want to show up here.
All right. So in the playoffs, I might follow that as long as I'm podcasting, which will be probably a long time. But during the regular season, occasionally, no, I actually picked the most of the games this year too. So it's hard to beat 2 or 3 times. I agree. We got 2 more games to cover, and then we're at 2 hours. So I don't know how much we'll do after that. But all right, one of them's in Arizona, but we'll hit that next. Let's talk that Washington-Tampa game. Tampa's favored by 3. You got a rookie quarterback in Jaden Daniels, who made the Pro Bowl over Baker. So there's a little extra storyline here. Because Baker threw for 41 touchdowns and ran for 3 more. He had 44 touchdowns and didn't make the Pro Bowl with a team that made the playoffs and won their division.
The last thing you want is Baker with a chip on his shoulder.
And this is Baker with a chip on his shoulder.
Yes, the guy they put in over him?
Wait, are we talking about crotch-grabbing Baker Mayfield right now? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
There we go. Now when they tune back in,
wow, that joke was a lead balloon. That was a lead balloon over everybody's head. Wow. Okay. Nobody else remembers this? Okay.
I remember.
Oh,
that.
I remember.
Yeah, what a lovely individual. Anyway, so Billy, go ahead.
So you're a big Baker fan, aren't you?
Me?
Baker.
Sam.
No matter, Baker can throw dimes out there. So, but
look, I don't doubt the man's talents. When I say I don't like somebody, I just don't like him. I think he's a douchebag.
Well, I don't like Aaron Rodgers. He's an asshole.
Exactly. No,
Aaron Rodgers is an asshole. I wouldn't invite him on the show. I don't like him that much. I wouldn't want to talk to him.
Baker is one of those guys that will play down to his competition or he'll play up to it. That's just kind of how he runs.
He reminds me of your light switch. I don't want to interrupt, but he just reminds me of your light switch thing.
But you did.
Baker is the ultimate. I did because he's the light switch guy in the league. When he's on, he is effing on. When he's off, it is off. It's like Drew Brees. Drew Brees was like that. He would throw for 5 touchdowns one game, 5 picks the next. Not very often, but he'd have one of those off games where you're like, what the hell was that? That's Baker. Sorry, Sam. Keep going.
It's okay. It's fine. I've gotten used to it by now. Come to my show, Sam. It'll be great. It'll be great.
I'll come on yours and you can do the same thing to me.
Just mute you. Anyway, so boy, I listen, I actually really like Jalen Daniels. I love the way he plays. It's been fun to watch him this year, but everything's about to come crashing down, I think. As much as I have enjoyed the Commanders this year, this is playoff football. And I think Baker and Tampa want a little vengeance this year, and I think the Commanders are going to pay the price. So I'm going to say Tampa 31, Washington 17.
Oh, 2-score game. Thank you, Sam. Hey, and it was uninterrupted. There you go.
I'm proud of you. You're growing up right in front of our eyes. It's like your dad's watching you grow up all over again.
Just in front of my eyes.
Yeah.
Dad,
he's so tired. Look what you did to this man. He's so tired. Look at him.
I like he
was tired before, and then he's like
Washington a lot. Tampa Bay with Baker, Evans, Bucky Irving's gonna,
Bucky Irving.
he's gonna be a difference in this game. This is gonna be a good game, but I do think that at the end of the day, Tampa Bay will take this game. Jaden Daniels is a rookie quarterback, playing on a big stage. He's got composure. I'm not saying he's not going to play well, but Baker has a lot more experience. He's been in the league for a longer period of time. I put my money on the experienced quarterback in this situation. I think both these teams are pretty interesting and good. I do like Jaden Daniels a lot and what he brings to the table. With Bucky Irving and the other, and the tools, the players that they got, I'm going to go Tampa Bay in this one. I'm going to say Tampa Bay 24, Washington 20.
Jason says 30-26 Washington. By the way, this is reminding me how fun it is to bring multiple people together. I'm going to be doing this more on Fridays. This has been a lot of fun. I'm going to go Tampa, and I actually think Jaden's going to have a good game and keep it close. But Baker's been one of the best quarterbacks in the league this season. He really has. And Bucky Irving's great. The question mark I have, there's one question mark for Tampa. Their pass D is not great. So but that's Washington's weakest point on the roster. They're a hell of a second. They can't stop the run, which I think Bucky Irving's gonna have a field day. Washington's run D is terrible, but their pass D is great. But I still think Baker's gonna. I just don't think they're gonna be able to slow down Baker. I'm gonna go 34. Washington will keep it close. 27, one score game. The line's only 3. Yeah, 34-27, Tampa. And I think if this happens where Green Bay beats Philly, then Tampa would actually play the winner of the Minnesota Rams game. And that could open up a door for Tampa to go to the conference championship. Because they get through this and Green Bay actually pulls off the upset. Now, Tampa goes to Philly the week after. That's going to be tough. But they're a weird team. They can lose to anybody and they can beat anybody. That's been Tampa this season.
Yeah.
They have one of the highest ceilings and lowest floors of any team in the league.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I could agree with that.
Millie, did you give score? You didn't give score,
did not.
Right?
I think I'm right along with everybody else. I think
he was waiting patiently.
Tampa Bay, they can't. Well, like you said, Washington is going to have to throw the football because that's what Tampa can't stop. Yep. You can't really run the ball against Tampa, but that's what Washington does best. So it's really kind of a
pick your poison.
Because it's the Commanders can't stop the run, but they want to use Baker. So it's going to be dependent on who's going to be committed to what will actually work and who's going to try to prove a point. As we see it a lot of times with these games, especially the Lamars and we got to prove a point with our quarterback and show that he's the one that needed it. No, if you're smart, you game plan the right way. You hand the ball off to the 2 or 3 running backs that he has, and you just hit Washington where it hurts, where they can't stop the run. So they also made a day for Mike Evans in Florida, National Mike Evans Day. I think it's January 10th now. So also Marshawn Lattimore versus Mike Evans. People forget.
Ooh.
So when they get thrown out, third quarter, right? We're thinking third quarter they both get thrown out. Yeah.
Lattimore plays for the Commanders now. So
that's right. Yeah.
Was he
the chicken fight from Family Guy?
Yes, that's right.
Was Lattimore hurt though? I'd heard something about that.
Yeah, he was hurt, but now he's ready to go.
Oh yeah. I see him. He's not on the injury report. Yeah, there we go. Kate Otten's questionable. Antoine Winfield is questionable for the Bucs D, which hurts. Oh, that's not good. Nobody else significant. Logan Hall, defensive lineman.
Washington
the
doesn't
Commanders
have the receivers behind McLaurin.
Scary Terry.
Here.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is they're gonna need to get another target for. They got Zach Ertz.
They don't have enough weapons. Yeah,
Zach Ertz is old and decrepit.
He is. His old decrepit butt got a bonus in the last game of the season because he got over 600 yards and he actually got up to 7 TDs. He is old, but he still had a pretty solid season. This is gonna be an interesting one. The last game though, guys, got moved because of the fires, so it's not a home game for the Rams anymore. But the way the Rams beat the Vikings last time, I initially was thinking Rams. I want to hear y'all's takes. I'll go last on this one. Last game of Wild Card Weekend. Then I got a couple last questions for y'all, and then we'll boogie because we're at 2 hours. But this is fun. Vikings Rams. Do the Vikings pull off the? They're actually. Let me see. Are they favored? They're favored. Do they pull off the win as road favorites? Or do the Rams win this one?
Pick
Yeah,
for
they'll win.
Ohio State. That'll end the game.
Wait, what?
Ohio State just picked and ended the game.
So it's going to be Ohio State, Notre Dame. Ooh, all right. That's why you have a playoff because it wasn't the top 2 teams. I'm hoping the Irish win it. Okay. All right, Sam, why don't you go first in this one? And I will wait. I'm not going to say nothing. Minnesota Rams. What's your take?
Really? Because you know Millie more than me, and you interrupted him like twice. So I was just
but that's Millie. Okay.
Yeah,
I
true.
love Millie. He knows I love him.
Millie, I'll protect you. I'll stand up
Thank
for
you.
you. That's
Thank
right.
you.
Voice for the voiceless over here.
It's Samuary.
He needs it. He's upset his team isn't in the playoffs. See, this is sad, Millie.
I'm not.
I've
I'm not
seen-
upset at all. I'm fine. Thank you.
I've seen happy Med this season and sad Med when the Bears were sucking, and then the Bears started 4-2, and then they sucked, and then they beat the Packers. This is Millie's saddest team isn't in the playoffs.
Can I interrupt really quick?
Go right ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so I just want to say that I don't know how many years ago it was, but our Packers were in the playoffs, and we went to San Francisco, and we gave up the most running yards in the history of the NFL in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think it was to
Raheem Mostert,
and then the quarterback.
Jimmy Garoppolo. Threw
No,
the ball 7 times. Oh, Colin Kaepernick. Oh, I was sitting there like,
Kaepernick
we've
had
done that
180
twice.
yards himself. or
How do
something.
I know this?
Well, I didn't know if he was going farther back about the Raheem
I'm just
Mostert.
teasing. I'm just teasing.
291 yards, 3 touchdowns.
It's a
And I
Jim.
think we
Garoppolo threw the ball 7. I forgot to go back even further when we also ended the Packers season again with another
Woo!
rushing.
Goodness.
I think
great.
Isaac and I looked it up and we're like, how can you give up the most yards in the ground ever in the history of the NFL
I'll
We did
show you.
that.
and not
We
get
did
fired? And not
We
get
did
fired.
that.
You guys just love the history books. All kinds of history. Good. bad.
Yeah.
So, and this
Yeah,
happened in a
exactly.
playoff game. This happened in a playoff game. Well, I just wanted to throw that out there, so Millie knows that.
Well, if
There's
the
been
Packers
some
want to
hurt
get back,
on our side as well.
well, Dad, if the Packers want to get back to winning Super Bowls, they got to do it through defense, and they're starting to build that back up. But that's how you win Super Bowls. The 49ers, that's how they got there. They had a lot of guys on defense last year. The Packers got to get back to that though, because that's when Kaepernick destroyed us. And the one that really gets me while we're on this Packer 49er thing, Sam, you'll love this. My eyebrows are up. The Aaron Rodgers game where he only scored one,
Touchdown.
I'm not going to say the F word, but touchdown at home.
Is that when it was snowing and we
No,
blocked the punt?
dude. Yeah, Devontae and Aaron Jones. I don't care if they could double stack Devontae. Like, figure it out. You're better. That one really. That was when I jumped off the Aaron Rodgers playoff train. I was like, this guy sucks.
Was that the
Get
one
off
where we
the
blocked
bridge,
the punt?
Isaac. You have a lot to live for. Anyway, partly because I don't want Minnesota's magical season to end. I think they're going to win this game. The Rams have looked quite dysfunctional at times. So have the Vikings, no joke. But I think the Rams have looked way more dysfunctional. This is going to be really interesting. I think really telling because coaching is going to matter this game. Kevin O'Connell, Sean McVay. Which one of these offensive masterminds are going to figure this out?
Jedi
right?
and Padawan.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. I have the high ground. Anyway, so which made no sense. We'll talk about that. We'll have a movie podcast.
No, he had the high ground. He said he under power. I knew that one.
You could jump to the side, whatever. But anyway,
he's like, I'm gonna just jump over you, and he's like,
yeah, I'm gonna jump right in lightsaber range. That's what I'm gonna do. Anyway,
Yeah.
I've seen Luke Skywalker shoot out of a pit all the way up, but yeah, by God, just barely jump over Obi-Wan's head. But that's enough. Don't do this to me. You put
I've
a quarter
already
in
done
the
it. Sorry.
box. Stop it. Anyway, so
Done.
So just wait till we're done here. I think the Washington has more horses than the Rams do. I think Justin Jefferson is quite honestly God's gift to a wide receiver position.
That's unbelievable.
He is amazing, and I don't think the Rams can keep up with them or stop them. I think it's another one of these games like we've been talking about. It'll be close for a second, and then whichever coach came up with the best game plan is going to win it. That's what's going to happen.
Good take. The Vikings really do get receivers, man. Chris Carter was a beast in his day, and then they had Moss, and now Justin Jefferson.
Right.
And they had Diggs for a minute too. They've been stacked at receiver. My only question is the Rams their defense has gotten better. Do you think there's any credence to that? Or do you think it was the teams they were playing? Because they gave up 40 to Buffalo, but then since then, other than this meaningless Seattle game, they hadn't given up more than 20 other than to Philly since
they're flighty. They're just all over the place, and they're way more all over the place than the Vikings are. And let's be honest, does anybody? I mean, you guys probably wanted the Viking season to end, sure, but for me on the outside, I would love to see Sam Darnold and the Vikings keep going. It'll be fun.
I would rather see the Vikings, but I think it'd be more fun actually.
Millie's coming in to bombard. Look at him. He's
Absolutely
all
Millie, what you got?
No.
Okay. First, one of the guys on our show is a Vikings fan. Can't have that.
Oh, that's why.
Can't have that. Can't have the Vikings doing anything in the. What I want the Vikings to do is get to this point where they're at right now, where I've been yelling into this microphone for I don't know how long about Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is going to Sam Darnold, and he will.
Sam Darnold last week. He did.
And he will again. And that's what I want more than anything in this world is for Sam Darnold to do Sam Darnold things and lose this game, which is, oh my gosh, I'm getting pressured. Let me just throw the ball up in the air for no reason or try to throw it backwards. I'm going to lateral it to nowhere, like spinning around. Like, oh my gosh, I won't just take the sack or throw it away. I'm going to compound this thing into the worst possible situation we can imagine. That's what I want, because I've had to listen to our Vikings fan on our show tell me how great Sam Darnold is when he had the exact same statistical performance as Brock Purdy did last year. And I got told he was a game manager, but now I'm supposed to believe that Sam Darnold is the second coming of, Dante Culpepper for the Vikings. And I'm sorry, I'm just not going to sit here and listen to that. I need him to do what he does, which is stink when it matters. And also the Vikings, I looked up the stat, found this stat. The Vikings are 1-4 since 2000 playing in the stadium at Arizona.
Against coaches on clubfoot.
I love this feisty version of Millie. This feisty version of Millie,
I know,
it's so entertaining. This is great.
He intimidated me with his no. He's like, no, not at all. No. He's like I had to sit down in class. You're like, okay.
Right. To the back. Absolutely not. You could take that, hand it in when it's ready.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Like what you say to your kid.
I'm going to go do that.
Like, to my 5-year-old, I'm just like, no. But it doesn't work. She doesn't care. She looks at me and she's like I asked her to hand me a Coke earlier today, and she's like, no. That was the same no you said. It was the same no. I was like, thanks.
No,
appreciate that. I do a lot, but no, we can't help. No, it's okay. Love her.
I hope the Vikings lose, and I hope they lose in hilarious. And I hope he throws a pick.
Did he actually leave?
I don't know, but I hope he throws a pick, and I hope it's hysterical, and I can sit and laugh and just enjoy and bask in the glory of the Sam Darnold experience when I have to listen to everybody tell me that he's the greatest and he's going to make $50 million. But Brock Purdy, for some reason, who's got playing in a Super Bowl and 2 NFC championship games and leading his team back from 20 points down to the playoffs, doesn't deserve $50 million. But Sam Darnold, after 1 year winning nothing, deserves $50 million. Colin Cowherd,
I think he has a great first name, though. It's a very strong name, Sam.
Yes, it was December, and now it's Samuary.
Millie, you're like me with Cowboys fans, where I want them to achieve a little success and then come crashing down. Yes. I am like Stephen A on that, because Cowboys fans, I live near Dallas.
Did you think I forgot about you?
They're insufferable. I want them to crash. This year wasn't fun because they just sucked. It was entertaining.
They had no hope. The hope.
They have Fat Mike as their coach. I mean, come on.
It's McCarthy.
McCarthy might go coach the Bears now if they.
It's the coach
not anymore.
Broke the record on us.
Hey, you think the Bears hold out and wait if Ben Johnson says no, and they wait for Mike McCarthy?
I love the Bears hiring process, dude. They're just interviewing everybody. I mean, I'm like going to submit my resume as 3-time fantasy football champion. Like, I know how to manage a team.
You get a call. You're like, whoa.
Right, like-
whoa.
Hey, speaking of fantasy, really quick sidebar. Have you guys ever done I just got it wasn't an offer to me directly. It was in one of my group chats. Have you guys ever done a fantasy playoff league?
No.
I've never done one, and I just was reading on it. I was like, damn. Okay, sorry. Let's finish this game. All right, so Millie has a hot take that Sam Darnold's going to Sam Darnold like he did last week.
The Vikings are 1-4 in Arizona Stadium since 2000. I'm not making those stats up.
I got a take for you really quick.
Against coaches with one eye.
If Sam Darnold stays in Minnesota, do you think we'll see a version of Sam Darnold like Jared Goff, where he's grown? Like Goff, there still might be a ceiling, but he's definitely gotten a lot better, especially against pressure and with awesome coaching. Do you think Darnold, if he stayed in Minnesota in a year or two, we might see that version?
They're similar because when Goff gets pressure, he will do some ugly things. Ugly. Absolutely horrific.
Until this season, and then not so much, actually.
I don't think people have gotten after him much. I don't know how often.
One of the best O-lines in the game.
There you go.
Uh-huh. He's got support. Daddy with the scissors. Dad, what's your thoughts?
Why has he got scissors? What's he doing?
Deep cuts only.
Yeah. He's like, this is how I feel about this game. Oh, my God.
All right. I think Millie hit something, but it may be a game or two early. Darnold is probably got the best coach he's ever had, on his side.
Oh yeah.
Minnesota has just been they're 14-3. They've had a special season. I don't see enough of the Rams or what the Rams bring to the table. And I like the Rams. I love their coach. I think their coach is a great coach. But this Minnesota team matches them up, and friggin' Addison and Jefferson are the difference. You look at Puka Nacua, certainly.
Bless you. Who?
Puka.
I know. I have to say it every time.
But
it's in my contract.
Nobody's going to match. No, they're not going to match up with Jefferson and Addison and Naylor, right? And TJ Hawkinson. You got Jones coming out of the backfield. And the defense has been pretty good, right? So I just think I like Minnesota in this game in Arizona, even if they're 1-4. I love their coach. I think Darnold will be able to manage well enough in this particular game. I don't see the Rams defense being that level of a defense that can make him stupid.
I got to add something here. I like everyone's takes. This has been awesome, seriously. And then I got an off-season question for you guys. But we got to remember that the Rams did beat the Vikings 30-20 this season. I have some evidence. These teams did play. Puka Nacua came back from injury, and Kupp and Stafford in that game, he had his toys back. And that was that first game they came back and he threw 4 TDs over the Vikings. So it's not in LA, it's in Arizona. So this is going to change the dynamic of this game. I'm still leaning Vikings, but the Rams, there is something there where everybody likes them. They just have been a mess this year.
Their defense has turned around. Their defense
their defense
young. Their defense is young, and they got dudes. Jared Verse guy gets after the quarterback, man.
Yeah.
My dad tried to trade me Jared Verse for like a solid 5 weeks. I was like, Dad, I really actually did need a pass rush.
See what I mean?
I ended up getting Trayvon Walker from him.
Good players.
Jared Verse is good, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I was looking to upgrade my receiver, and then he offers me a defensive lineman. I was like, I want a receiver.
Verse
All
is
right,
good.
so
He already is.
what's the scores on this last game? Vikings Rams.
What do you got?
I'm gonna go. Damn, I'm really torn on this one. I didn't actually get my take. Vikings though, man, I don't know. Like I think I'm with Sam here. I think they've got too many horses. Yes. I know, Sam. You needed
Billy. Booyah!
You need lots of love. Your team. You watched your team all season. I saw your face every week.
I've been in those seats for 13 years, and I got to tell you, I've seen worse. I've seen much worse.
It's the post Derrick Henry regime is not off to a great start. But your D has a lot of talent. If you guys get a quarterback, this actually may not be as fast of a turnaround as everybody thinks. We don't think the quarterback's in this draft. But if you guys get your franchise dude or even just a solid quarterback, you guys have a good defense. So, like getting Snead help turn on that pass D significantly.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to this game. The Rams are such a weird team. I can't figure them
They're an
out.
odd team. They're an odd team.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know what to make of them. Seriously, I'm looking at their last few games. Toss out the Seattle game. They didn't have their starters in. They hold the Cardinals to 9, but they only scored 13. They beat the Jets 19-9. I actually watched most of that game. They beat the 49ers in one of the ugliest Thursday night games you'll ever see, 12-6, ever. They beat the Bills. They scored 44 on the Bills and beat them. They beat the Saints, hold them to 14. The Eagles throttle them, but that was back, before Thanksgiving. That was 7 games ago. They beat the Pats. They do lose the Dolphins, but their defense just keeps getting better and better. I think Kevin O'Connell is going to figure out enough of a scheme here, and Sam Darnold's going to have just enough. I don't think it'll be quite what Millie's saying, where he's going to Darnold. I think he'll have a decent game. I just don't trust this Rams offense. I'm going to go. This one's lower scoring. I'm going to go Vikings 23, Rams 20. A lot of playmakers, but I don't know why I don't see this one as high scoring.
You've got your NFC North hat on.
I'm gonna.
You're pulling a Rob Lowe NFL logo hat, but it's the NFC one.
Yeah.
NFC North.
Jason, don't wish that evil on me, dude. Don't.
I'm telling you right now, he's like the SEC guys, all the SEC.
Aaron Rodgers goes to the Titans, not the Vikings. You love it. You want him. He's only 41. He's got a lot of good years left, man.
Said no.
Oh man, that
no
would be
means
great.
no, baby. No.
Sam, what's your score prediction for this last one?
27-23 Vikings.
Millie?
24-17 Rams.
I could see that. I could see both.
And I hate the. Let me just preface it. I cannot.
Who do you like?
I can't stand the Rams.
Who do you like other than the 49ers? Nobody, right? He's like nothing. Nobody.
I don't mind the Cardinals. They're non-threatening. I can't. I didn't mind the Rams before they got Stafford. I can't stand Matt Stafford. I'm sorry.
You don't
You
like
know what the Cardinals are going to do? The Cardinals. You don't
like Stafford?
Kyler Murray every year. This is Kyler Murray.
I do not like Matt Stafford. I like Matt Stafford, the guy.
Great
Inside the sidelines, can't stand him. He's the luckiest quarterback, the most. Everybody give him credit for doing nothing quarterback I've ever seen in my life. There was a picture that came out after they beat the Niners that says, is Matt Stafford the most underrated quarterback in the NFL? And I'm like, and Ram fans got really mad at me because I was like, the guy threw for 120 yards. What are we talking about? He just threw for 300-something yards against the Bills, and you want to ask if he's underrated now? And then he proceeds to not throw for more than 200 yards for 3 straight games, and they win. They average like 12 points a game in that 3-game winning streak, and everybody's like, watch out for the Rams. Why?
Really?
Because Matt Stafford can't throw for more than 150 yards?
I do wonder if the arm is finally starting to fall off because he's had he obviously has a lot of arm talent, but I'm starting to wonder if we're near the end of Stafford. Finally,
we are near the end of Stafford.
Did everybody give scores already?
Yes.
Yeah. Other than you,
I'm gonna throw a name up. I think Van Ginkel is going to get a touchdown on defense because Minnesota's going to win this game 38-21. I'm going to give Minnesota an extra defensive touchdown. Jefferson is going to go off. Addison, Jones, TJ Hawkinson. I mean, they're just they're 14-3 team. This this defense, we didn't talk too much about the Minnesota defense, but they can throw pressure, and Stafford doesn't do great under pressure. I think Van Ginkel's gonna roll in.
That's pitching his fantasy guy. He's got Van Ginkel too, Millie. He's also has Van Ginkel.
Almost had a touchdown last
This is a trade pitch, people. Don't buy this. This is a dynasty trade pitch to me. He's trying to plant seeds. He's like, Isaac, you need a pass rusher.
Well, I got Boza and Van Ginkel, and they're both top 5 defensive.
He already traded me Trayvon Walker from the Jags, who was finally starting bad. Remember him, Millie and Sam, the number 1
Wait,
overall
who?
pick,
Who?
Trayvon Walker.
Trayvon Walker, yeah.
Oh
He traded him. Already traded me.
Give up quality
Yeah.
play. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Because I only take quality.
All right.
Um,
Before we close, I gotta ask y'all a question. And
Yeah.
Dad, we're gonna pretend.
So remember that score, 38-21. Just saying. Okay, good.
Hey.
I should have wrote these down. Actually, that's a good point. Okay.
Oh well.
We'll start with Sam, then we'll go to Millie, and then we'll answer it. I got a 2-part question for you guys. What do you want? What's the number 1 thing you want your team to do this offseason? And what wild transaction, what prediction do you have for another team? Like you could say T. Higgins goes to, I don't know, I don't even know, something crazy where you don't like, it'd be nuts if it happened, or coach, something insane. What do you think? What do you want your team to do? And then what do you think is going to be the craziest thing to happen in the offseason? Sam, you want to start?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Why not? We're all here. I want to trade that first round draft. I want to trade the number 1 draft pick to somebody in the top 5 and still get Carter with the draft. That's what I want. That's what I want.
Ooh, all
Nice.
right.
I want the first next year, and I want your first, second, and third this year.
I was going to ask you guys if either of you guys want Hunter, if you think he's going to be good or you think he's going to be a bust.
I'm not wild. I think he's a cornerback. I don't think he's an NFL wide receiver. But that's me. Everybody's gonna. I mean, I'm not a scout. I don't look at.
I'm hearing so many different things on this guy,
You
man.
talking Carter, the edge rusher? Is Carter an edge rusher? What is
Abdul Carter. Yeah, Penn State.
Penn State.
I've heard good things about him.
I-
What is the wild thing you think that'll happen, coaches or player movement this offseason?
Let's see. I think the Eagles get rid of AJ Brown. I think so.
Ooh.
I don't know where he's going to go, but I think. Shut
Stay
up.
green. Stay green.
Oh goodness, I don't know where he's going to go, but something's going to go wrong. Run afoul in that locker room, and he's going to be gone. That's what I think.
That's because they're losing to Green Bay this weekend.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. Are you
If they
excited?
do, hey, I'm gonna say this because everyone, I'm gonna put up a video and it's gonna.
I
I'm
miss
gonna brag.
Cleo.
I'm gonna pull a Millie, but I've done this. I did this with the Lions. I had a couple videos go viral when I said the Packers were gonna beat the Lions, and then they did, and then people clown me the next day. I'm gonna put a video up about the Packers beating the Eagles, and if they do, I'm gonna keep receipts, and I'm gonna go back to every person. Hey, so wait, what happened?
You have
Where's your
to.
video?
Just
Where's your video?
Just
Where's
eyeballs
Where
those.
did you stand on a limb and actually say something? They did it after the fact. So I keep receipts. Now if they lose, then I'm just gonna shut off social media, but whatever.
No, you have to do those things.
Exactly. It's
They
fun.
they must be taken to task. That's how this
Dude,
works.
one of them on TikTok hit like 10K, and I got so many. How'd that work out for you? And it was great because I'm in the car. I'm like, the Packers are gonna beat the Lions, and it's all bright. And then the post video, it's in the dark, and my hair is all disheveled. I'm like, well, that didn't work. It was,
Just wait and see, buddy. You're going down.
it even cracked me up because it was just so. It was the first Packer Lions game, not the second one, and where they got kind of throttled. All right, Millie, what do you want the 49ers to do? Your biggest thing you would like out of anything. It could be extend Purdy. It could be
Nope.
trade this dude.
I
What do you
want
want?
them to draft 9 offensive and defensive linemen. They don't need anything else.
That's also this far-fetched thing.
Yes.
It's all in one.
Yes, all of it. I want them to do, because that's when they're at their best. When they control the line of scrimmage, that's when they're at their best.
Do you
It
think
makes
the window's
everything else
still
go.
open? Do you think the window's still open for you guys, or you think it's
Yeah, I
passed?
think it is. I think it is. I mean,
Yeah.
who are you? If Stafford's falling off, who are you scared of in the NFC West?
Oh, I mean your
Right.
division.
I mean,
do you know?
right. So the path is still there, right? Like,
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
so
it
it's
is
still there to get in. So I
'cause
don't.
you already know what the Cardinals are going to do every year. They're going to fall off.
George Kittle's immortal,
Until they
obviously.
get rid of Murray, they're just going to be the Cardinals.
One of
Yeah.
my friends
He lives in Arizona.
most
There's a lot of he
ridiculous
hears
thing
all of
ever.
it.
that the Cardinals. Somebody on our show, the idiot, said the Cardinals should trade. should trade.
Sorry. God dang. You
Somebody-
guys are idiots.
We are. That's
Was
what
it
we do.
Isaac? Was it Isaac?
We don't like you. If you ever listen to our show,
No.
it's a complete calamity of errors and just trash talk. I mean, that's all it is. I
Sounds like
mean, I
my
gave
life.
out a stat about coaches who are bald. Like that's what we do on our show. It's not.
Oh
A,
yeah,
Yeah.
they have
like
water cooler debates all the
yeah,
time.
I mean, it's just nonsense. But we call each other idiot. But we said the Jaguars should trade for Kyler Murray. And then I asked him why, and he just said, I don't know, because they just trade Trevor Lawrence to Arizona. And like under what premise? I don't know. All right, well, there you go. That's hot take.
No premise at all. It's
Breaking
just,
news:
just
Kyler
need to
Murray
happen.
traded to the Jags for no reason at all.
Yes.
Sunshine, welcome to Arizona, the state of the rising sun.
It's like wife swap. It's like wife swap or whatever that spouse swap, whatever that show is.
There you go. Yeah, just trade them both. They both have massive contracts that are
Yeah,
they're fully guaranteed. It's not going
Is
to
that,
cripple your
is that all?
franchise.
Is that all we have to do? All right, cool.
yeah. Why
And
not?
Trevor Lawrence looks great. I would totally.
I mean, he's more of an Arizona guy than a Florida guy. His hair is terrible in that humidity. I'm sure it's
God.
probably a disaster.
The
Flowing in
Jags.
the wind.
I couldn't believe that they kept Peterson for the whole season. I was like, why are they doing
I
this?
can't believe they kept Trent Baalke. All that dude does is just
Guys,
he's like
look, they're in my division. They've always been this way. They just won't stop. Okay, at least me, I hit a rut and then I dig myself out of it. Right? That's
Hey,
how
you guys get what was that
So-
quarterback's name who was decent for a little bit, who really
Wait,
wasn't, but it was Derrick Henry. I'm actually forgetting his name.
Ryan
Tannehill?
Said
Tannehill.
earlier.
Ryan Tannehill
Yeah,
was
Ryan
right under.
Tannehill.
Ryan
Yeah,
Tannehill won a
Tannehill.
lot of games for us, not Derrick Henry. People tend to forget that, but
He
that's
was very good in his system. He was a system
Yes.
quarterback.
he did
Oh
really
my
good in
gosh,
Arthur
that's
Smith's
amazing.
corner.
He
but
really
anyway.
was a good system quarterback.
So
Yeah, no, sorry, go ahead.
no, it's okay. I couldn't remember what I was.
Well, I wanted Millie's second part of his take. What's
Oh.
the wild offseason thing?
Oh, the same thing. Offensive and defensive lineman.
I want the Cowboys. I want the Cowboys to hire Coach Prime and draft Shador Sanders.
Oh man, that would be epic. Oh,
Oh,
man, I
you
would
stole
have so
my
much
thunder.
offseason material.
You stole my thunder.
Do it. That would.
stole my
I actually think
thunder.
it'd be good for them. If Shador's
They
good,
get the father son
Hold on.
combo.
if Shador's good though, guys, can you imagine what that would
He's
be
not
for the Cowboys?
Oh
Just
my gosh.
live in my world for 2 seconds. Shador's an actual NFL quarterback.
He's a
I don't
beast.
think he is. I think he could be. I don't think he is though. But Shador, let's say he's got Pro Bowl potential, and Deion comes. Wouldn't that be fun for the Cowboys?
Oh
Deion's.
my gosh.
I think Deion's a better coach than what they got now. Actually,
Yeah.
I don't know how much that's saying, but Mike sucks. So Deion might actually. He's turned around college programs at least.
I agree, Jason. When they trade me for the pick, they're going to draft Sanders.
Sanders going to the Raiders. Oh,
Yeah, he is.
okay,
They're going to trade me for the pick.
Raiders.
Raiders.
So the Cowboy take. All right, Dad, you're up. Let's pretend the Packers get bounced by Philly, or they lose in the playoffs at some
You
point.
don't have to pretend it's going to happen.
Come on. man.
Or they win the Super Bowl. Regardless, what's
Yeah,
the
it's
number one thing you want
it's
them to
the
do?
End of the season because the Super Bowl is over now.
And we won. We knocked off the Chiefs 3-peat
As a
chances.
wild
Guys,
card
if that
team,
happens, you're gonna come back on, right?
which we did
Yes,
this
Yeah.
year.
it will.
No.
Well, anyway,
Only way.
Sam's like, hell no.
all right. The Packers, they break their pattern, and they go out and sign T. Higgins, the alpha male receiver that they need
Hope
for
so.
the offense.
Mm.
And just give in to the reality that you actually need. What is T. Higgins? 6'3.5", like 218. He's accomplished. He knows how to run. He knows everything. He's still fairly young. He would be a great addition to this team. That would be the way to go. I would like to see it. I don't know if they can afford it. The other take was going to be, hey, Shador and and Deion over to Dallas, but I'll go with I'm gonna go with the Cheetah, right? Miami.
Oh boy, I'm already excited.
And the Cheetah goes back to Kansas City. Let's just say that'd be crazy. If it happened.
Mm.
Ooh, I like
because
that.
I'm talking
because
about.
he wants out, And I just think it'd be really cool if he went back to, if he could go back there. I don't think they can afford it, but
Listen, I know bad football. I'm looking at Miami. That's bad football. I got news for you. That's bad.
Yeah, it is.
But their coach looks
It
cool.
really is.
their coach looks cool.
DQ.
He's got wheelies around the bottom of the stadium. God damn. I want to beat him up and take his lunch money already.
Guys, unbelievable.
I like the T. Higgins one. I actually
Coke now. At least he looks like he's
Can't
dealing
steal it.
coke.
You can't steal it. It's mine.
no. There's another receiver I was thinking of more, and I don't know if the Eagles are going to give up on AJ Brown, but damn it, man, I'm tired. I'm trying to remember who are the other receivers that are going to be available this offseason. Sam, Millie, Dad. Can you guys think of any? Which receivers are likely? It's not Justin Jefferson.
Devontae Adams.
Jamar Chase.
Bring him back.
Yeah,
Bring him back.
Devontae Adams, I
Debo?
think is. I think the Devontae Adams thing actually
Debo,
has some
San
smoke.
Francisco says they're keeping Debo.
They're going to have a lot of money to spend in the offseason. He's right. We
Didn't
actually have a lot
John
of.
Lynch said specifically, we're not in the habit of letting our great players go.
Yeah, but they also ponied up for Brandon Ayuk, and then he sucked, and then he tore his ACL or whatever.
Yeah.
So they're kind of tied money wise at receiver.
Millie, what did you hear on Debo in San Francisco?
I mean, there was trade rumors last year about it. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Isaac, to interrupt you.
No, you're good. Hey, I've interrupted. Sam's like, yeah.
I'm just used to it. Yeah.
Hey, we're just gonna have to do more shows, and then I'll be like, Sam, I'm
It's
not
my
going to
turn.
talk.
I have
for
the
2.5
talking stick.
minutes.
It's my turn to talk.
Yeah, we're past the talking stick.
Okay, so I'm gonna go. The Packers go out and get a big time receiver. I like the idea. I'm running my brain. I'm trying to rack. No, not the Vikings, not the Lions. Not in the division. Not in the. Oh, DK Metcalf. That's who it was. The Packers go out and they trade for DK Metcalf. The Seahawks decide they're gonna get out. They're gonna let him go. I like Debo, but he's been a little up and down, and Millie's gonna hate me for this, but I want to get a number one wide receiver. Debo's a really useful weapon, but I'm a little worried he's lost a step. We're gonna find out. I think that the Packers are gonna go and get DK Metcalf because I think the Seahawks may blow it up this offseason. They may do the stupid thing and keep Geno, a subpar quarterback who sucks. I'm just being honest. The guy's not that great.
Is he on your fantasy team?
Hey, shut up.
Okay.
Yeah, I traded for him from my dad. Geno's my backup quarterback, though. He's a backup. Anyways, he's a decent. Oh, there's Rev. There he is. What's up, dude? Anyways, I love that we stayed on for 2.5 hours so new people could come in. That's great. Anyways, yeah, Sam's ready to go sleep. Okay, Packers go out and get DK Metcalf in the off-season thing. This is a crazy one. The Ravens flame out and they fire John Harbaugh.
Oh, I love that.
Boom! They lose to the Steelers.
And he joins his brother in Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's a coordinator. It's a coordinator.
Co-head coaches.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. The Ravens, I think, would call up in that scenario.
The charge boss.
Conspiracy theory. I don't think that Bill Belichick really wants to stay in North Carolina. I think if Jerry calls him up or if the Ravens have a head coach opening, he will leave North Carolina right now to go back in the NFL. And the Ravens will have Bill Belichick as their head coach next season.
Wow.
That's wild conspiracy theory.
The Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, there you go.
I can't wait to see that sleeveless purple hoodie.
Did you guys have any final questions for me? We've been on for a long time.
Why are you so upset all the time? Who hurt you?
Me?
Was it your dad? Yeah.
No, it's Millie.
It wasn't me.
Millie's upset.
I'm not upset. I'm
His
great.
team
I
sucks.
can't wait.
Millie's cool.
I'm exhausted from all these playoff runs I've had to go through the last few years, going to the NFC Championships and Super Bowl every year.
It's exhausting. Making the playoffs
I'm glad to have an off season for
He
once.
needed a break.
Sam understands what that's like. He knows what January. He gets that off every
day. We were in the playoffs 3 years ago. It's just been 2 years. Okay, I'm all right. I'll be okay.
You'll be back in the playoffs in a few years.
About 3 or 4. It's going to be rough. You got to climb out of there.
AFC South stinks. I mean,
they do. You got to climb out of it. I don't know how you're going to do it.
I don't believe in the Colts. You're looking at Houston, and they didn't look that great either. Look.
It's. I've seen that. I've seen this story before. You know what I mean? Like you just make smart draft picks like you did before and climb out of it. That's what you have to do. That's the name of the game.
That's not going to happen. Why would he go to the Raiders? If you're going to go to any team, I'm sorry. Why would you go to the Raiders in that dysfunctional mess?
If you want to pick one right there, I think the Raiders firing their GM, which was shocking. It feels like to me they're trying to coax Mike Vrabel away from the Pats. That's what it feels like to me.
Speaking of that, really quick, the Mike Vrabel thing that you guys did. I get the letting Derrick Henry go. He was near the, he actually may go for a few more years, but he played his whole career in Tennessee. He wanted to go win.
It was a mutual parting of the ways. We offered him more money, but he wanted to go to Baltimore. That's just how it is. Yeah,
where he had a chance to.
And by the way, Sam, you know who hurt me? Aaron Rodgers hurt me. That's who hurt me.
Okay, so you are upset.
A minute ago.
Yeah, you are upset.
No, I'm actually feeling really good. I'm very upset that the Packers lost to the Bears. It wasn't meaningless to me. I wanted to beat that stupid team because I know so many Bears podcasters, and now I'm gonna have to listen to this drivel all offseason. We beat you guys one time.
But you're in the playoffs, though. I'll see you guys in the playoffs. That's all you have to say. I'll see you in the playoffs.
Again, they don't know playoffs. They're like the Lions. The Lions don't know winning because they've sucked for 30 years. And that's why the Lions are the loudest people right now because they're actually good. So
yeah, good for them.
Boo.
Every dog has its day, right?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I was saying
I know why I typed 9H. Oh, that might have been what he was trying to say.
Probably.
Anyways, I don't get why you guys let Mike Vrabel go. Why did you do that?
Okay. All right. So the story. All right. Everybody buckle in. Okay. Because it's
my dad's like, oh, you're going to put me.
I'm not. Okay.
I got a couple more
minutes.
minutes.
I picked the Packers. Millie got mad at me when I almost picked the Eagles. I'm going to just pick the Packers.
I did a favor for you.
You did.
You're going to regret it if you didn't pick the Packers.
Now I'm going to make a video about it tomorrow. I'm going to pop it everywhere on Sunday, and I'm going to be bragging about the Packers. And if they lose, it's going to go kaboom. All right.
So in 2017, we hired a GM named John Robinson. He lived in West Tennessee most of his life. He was a Titans fan forever. He gave this impassioned speech when he first came in. And he actually made Mike Mularkey look good. If you guys remember, we went to Kansas City and Marcus Mariota threw a pass to himself and got the touchdown, if you remember any of that in the playoffs. It was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. But I don't 2017, I think.
Oh, not that long.
Yeah. But Mike isn't the guy. It's painfully obvious he's not the guy. So in comes Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel changes the culture overnight. He doesn't like Marcus Mariota, and quite frankly, he was right not to like Marcus Mariota. He was not really adapting to the game very well. So we got lucky enough to get a Ryan Tannehill that, with weapons around him, could make the offense go. And in 2019, we had the wild season where we beat the Patriots at home, Tom Brady's last game as a Patriot. And then beat the Ravens by doing what we've talked about, just putting everybody up on the line and making them have to throw. And
exactly.
Then we got beat in there. Anyway, so Mike is a very good coach. We all know this. I don't deny it and anything like it. So he starts asking, he goes, John Robinson and him start butting heads. John Robinson has 3 drafts in a row. Ask me how many we have retained in those 3 years he was GM. You know, you have to retain one. Jeffrey Simmons only
have you retained in those 3 years, Sam?
We only have one player from those 3 years playing. And you can't do that because when you draft, you have to keep guys on, even if it's for your special teams. You have to have these guys in line for your depth and special teams. So then comes the dreadful day that John Robinson decides, the owner tells him, you need to pay A.J. Brown. You offer him $22 million to stay. You pay him. He doesn't do it. He doesn't listen to the owner. So that's when we got the visual of Mike Vrabel getting up from his seat and coming back or whatever. So he goes and gets Traylon Burks. So we're going through the season, and it's starting to come out that Mike Vrabel is kind of pissed at the general manager, as we all were. And then we go to Philly, and A.J. Brown just murders us. I mean, absolutely just ruins us. And the owner fires him right after that game, as she should. So now Mike Vrabel here, and Mike Vrabel goes, I want full authority over all the entire team. I want all of it. I want to be Bill Belichick. And she kind of looked at it and said, funny, Bill Belichick has rings. You don't seem to have any. And then let's see. His specialty, here's the thing about Mike. He doesn't hire coaches very well, and he doesn't fire them either. Our special teams coach got one of the best punters the best punter in the league, got him hit so many times that she made him fire him mid-season. She made him do it. He says, I'm not doing it. She goes, you're going to do it. So that's all there is to it. The offense is awful. Arthur Smith goes to Atlanta. Now we're stuck with these two no-name guys who are just absolutely awful, and all they know is to give the ball to Derrick Henry over and over again. You have no A.J. Brown to help you in wide receiver corps. We can't draft anybody to help us. So they hire Rand Carthon. Rand goes to Amy like a smiling car salesman and says, hey, we don't need Vrabel. He wants full power anyway, and I think we can build an offense. And he talks about collaboration and everybody working together, and Mike's too alpha to work with you and everything like that. In October, we were working on a deal extension for Vrabel. Something happened in November and December for us to say, get out. Something happened. I don't know what it was. But the rumor is, and the most popular rumor and the most sensible rumor is, I'm in charge. I don't think I'm not gonna have a GM over me. And so they kicked him to the curb. That was
interesting.
Yeah.
Hey.
I don't have that in writing. There's entire articles written about it, but they all end with, we think that's what happened. So, but he's asked for full power before. That's publicly known. So I bet they just got tired of it. So she fell for this car salesman who brings us Brian Callahan, who wasn't ready, but I'm not ready to give up on him yet. He just got in his first year. He spent $219 million in guarantees. And what do we have to show for it? 3 and 13 or whatever we are.
Well,
I don't know.
first pick overall.
Yeah, that's first pick overall. Right. Brian Callahan ends his press conference this year by, in the nicest way possible, saying these players stink. This is really bad. And Rand Carthon made us look like fools. So he got fired. And that's why we lost Vrabel. That's the best guess I can give you. Yeah. We'll find out when somebody writes a book 10 years from now.
That'll be interesting. I always like those after stories. All right. I want you guys to go ahead. Dad, I'm going to go last here. I know you got a lot to plug. Millie, can you give one last plug on your show? And then I'm hoping I'll see you guys in February after the Packers win the Super Bowl. But
God.
Yes. Wednesdays, Sunday nights, we are live. We do football, obviously, but we go all year because we do golf too. We love golf.
Oh, golf is fun.
Once
I'm
football
I'm gonna be hitting basketball. Do you do basketball at all?
No. Oh. We're hockey guys, dude.
No, nice, dude. Me and Matt are gonna hit some basketball. We're gonna hit basketball, but I might be taking a little bit of time off. The wife might have another.
I'll come yelling to the microphone about it. I mean, I watch March Madness. You want me to yell about that? I bet on basketball sometimes, so I'll have stuff to yell about. But
Sam,
Wednesdays,
you like your story too.
Wednesday, Sundays, Millie Goats. Type it in wherever you can find it, and come laugh. We'll give you stats about all guys as coach. What?
And really quick, the Philly guy you just had on, how was that, man? I saw the highlights.
That was awesome, dude. He's the guy that went viral for having to bowl a 300 after finishing last in his fantasy football league. So I invited him on the show, and every beer he drank was 10 pins off the total score. So he ended up drinking like 20 beers, and all he had to do was bowl a 100 by game like 8.
So he had 20
pretty
beers
good story.
over 8 games, and he had a bowl 100. That'd be rough. That'd be tough. Check
that out. He was awesome. He's a big Philadelphia Eagles fan. I
need to start doing that. I need to start asking people about recent guests they had on. Because that was really cool.
We've
That's
had pro
smart.
golfers on our show. We've had a couple NFL guys on our show.
Wait, who have you had? I saw your pro golfers. Who
Uh,
did you have in the
Mark
NFL?
Hubbard, Justin Lauer, Andrew Novak. Those are the pro golfers. The pro football players were Daniel Kilgore, offensive
Oh,
lineman,
that's right.
and Sam Martin, punter for the Bills. And we're eventually going to have Tyler Bass on. But
Woo!
This guy,
T-Bass.
this guy just clowns in the comments, and I love it.
T-Bass.
Basketball's all Green Bay is going to have after this weekend.
Love
Ouch,
it.
man. Hey,
Dang.
Sam, you had another fan. That was a really good story, dude.
Yeah.
Very
No.
detailed.
Thanks. Look, I'm doing the best I can. Mike Vrabel, let me tell you what, Mike Vrabel's an alpha, okay?
Oh yeah, man.
And he'll walk all over you if you let him. I'm not saying he's a bad coach, but it's
like
hard
Campbell.
to work. It's hard to work with somebody like that, if you know what I'm saying.
Although Dan Campbell does seem to ingratiate himself really well with the people around him, so maybe Vrabel.
I think
that's what
Dan's less testy, is what it is. Mike Vrabel. I mean, you're talking like the guy would get up in a press conference and put everybody on edge, like
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, for
it's-
sure.
yeah.
Right. The players
intimidating.
went to bat for him and they played physical. And I always enjoyed watching Titans games when Vrabel was y'all's coach. So,
Oh, I did too.
Sam, plug your show. And if you have any upcoming or recent guests episodes people should watch.
Well, I'll tell you. All right. So tomorrow we will be reviewing on my wrestling show On the Mat at 8 p.m. Central. We'll be reviewing tonight's SmackDown. I like me some wrestling. And then let's see what day we on. Monday.
Did you watch the Raw on Monday? Really
Oh,
fast?
yeah. Yeah, it was terrific.
Awesome.
great
I heard it was really good. Okay.
We had a great time. It was fun. Monday will be the Let's Talk Sports show, the LTS show as we call it, and we will have Jim Behringer, hockey reporter, on to talk some hockey, and batting coach for Eastern Texas University on as well, as we start talking about baseball because it's coming up. And then, yeah, crazy. Tuesday will be the Raw recap, and
Nice.
then Thursday is there's LTS show Thursday where we're going to basically what we're going to do. We're going to retake the playoff games and talk about them and break it down and whatnot. And then, Friday will be Fanboys Unleashed, my show, which is doing okay right now. But feel free to tune in, join the Facebook page, find me on Twitter at Mr. First Down. I'm pretty goofy dude. I think you'll enjoy the content, but no pressure. I'm not Millie or anything. He's a goat. Millie's a goat.
And we've got Dad.
Down there.
Dad will be on for a lot of fantasy stuff this offseason and next year. Dad, what do you've been already doing trades? What do you got cooking for Dynasty? You want to pitch our league a little?
You guys do Dynasty at all?
I have. Not currently.
We got a new Dynasty league starting up for Millie or Sam. If you're interested, let us know.
That's true. You both are awesome. So I've been
We're gonna
talking to Sam for a hot minute.
We're going to start
Okay.
up a new Dynasty.
And I know Millie for a year. Yeah, it's a $200 buy-in.
Oh
Oh,
wow!
sorry, Dad. I'll let you do the pitch. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a $200 buy-in, but the schedules are handcrafted.
Like I'm about to drink some whiskey or something.
Exactly.
They're handcrafted.
And
Home rolled.
we try to emulate the NFL as much as possible in the Dynasty. So we follow much of the NFL. Whatever the NFL does, we try to do that in our dynasties. So.
Is
We're
Taylor
trying
Swift in this dynasty league?
Taylor Swift.
I mean, God, if I
I
get
can't
Taylor
afford
Swift, we'll be getting some. These ratings are solid, but I think we'd have a lot of viewers
Can you
if Taylor
imagine?
Swift was in this league.
But hey, thanks for having me on, Isaac. I appreciate it. It was fun.
Nice.
And
Here we
nice to
go.
meet you guys. Sam,
Yeah, Dad.
man.
Thank you, Dad. Thank you for hanging out for so long, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, Dad, we appreciate you, bro. Thanks.
It's cool
No
you guys do
problem.
this together. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's fun.
That's fun.
He called me earlier. He's like, "Do you want me to do the show?" I was like, "I mean, yeah." I reached out to a couple Packer guys, and then Millie was like, "I might come on later." I was like, "Yeah, I need somebody to kick it off with me." So he was like, "Do you want to do it?" I was like, "Well, it's a playoff game. Yeah, you should hop on.
100%.
Let's go."
You don't mind
Let's
rants
go.
about Matt Stafford and stats about bald coaches. You love our show.
Guys, this was seriously a lot of fun. Next week, what we've got planned for me and Med, our show, Cheesy Bear. Med will have a wonderful time if the Eagles win. And if the Packers win, I'm going to have a field day with the Bears fan. And
You
remind him
should.
that his sucks. I'm going to remind him about his team sucks even if my team loses because his team didn't play in the playoffs. And their asses are already at home on the couch with their new franchise quarterback.
And they
So,
have Caleb Williams.
yeah, he's their franchise. Maybe. Not so much. Anyways, they still don't have a coach. And the Bears suck. I'm just gonna remind everybody that. That's
All
the
you need
Bears.
is love.
My favorite thing, Millie, if you've ever seen NFL Outdated on Freezing 4, it's a great show. There was 8 of them on the other day. I went on last week. I've gone on it like once a month. And he's like, I hate it here because it's all Vikings, Lions, and Packers guys around him. And the Vikings and Lions people are trying to clown on us. And I'm like, we won 11 games. Look at the Bears. And he's like, I hate it here. It was great. It's just a trash. It's an NFC North trash talk show.
They know deep down in their
Freaking
hearts
great.
that Caleb Williams
yeah.
is not the guy.
They know the truth. They just
You
can't
know.
admit it.
Already.
This is so much better than what they're used to. They need a moment.
It may take a year or two. It may
You know
So
what
anyways-
pisses me off about Caleb Williams more than anything? It's that body language. It is awful. God, I can't
Really
stand
is.
it. I want to
No,
smack
that- yeah.
Smug's face off of his face.
Hey, I just gotta. I gotta.
That's where
ask
Bo
you
Nix
guys
passes.
one
Bo Nix
more question. Can I
passes
throw
that
something
test.
really off base?
Yeah.
You
Let's
know,
go to 3 hours.
We're talking about Caleb Williams and how obvious it is. What about the Colts and Anthony Richardson? How obvious is that?
I think I
Make
was
him a
on
running
that.
back.
I think I was on that before the Caleb Williams stuff.
I was
Were you?
on it because freaking he we're in the SEC. We play them. And he was obviously horrible. Obviously, like to a T bad. And so when they're saying he's going in the first round, I was like, no, he'll go 3 or 4. So imagine my shock when the Colts do it, and my in-laws who are Colts fans are like, tide's about to turn. And I said, I don't think so, Scooter.
Nope.
I don't think so at
Nope.
all. Not
Also-
a chance.
I hadn't done one of these
Lo and
3 hour
behold, I got
marathons.
stuck with a Mayo man.
You showed them.
Yeah, I sure showed them. The guy lost 5 games by himself. He didn't need us.
I was so excited. My dad was so excited about him in fantasy, and I picked him up. He was actually available, and I had to straight up cut the dude in fantasy. He was
Yeah, you should.
unplayable.
He's awful.
He's
awful.
terrible. He's like, dude, when he hits 50% completion percentage, that's a good game for Anthony Richardson. Like, damn, this guy.
I played fantasy for a lot of years, man.
This
And
guy's bad.
I never had a quarterback who couldn't throw. You know,
I mean, he
literally
makes
himself
Tim
out of the
Tim
game.
Tebow look. He makes Tim
He's a
He
Tebow
took
running
look.
himself out of the game on the goal line. He took himself out of the game
I was-
on the goal line.
I was winded,
Yeah,
coach. I was running around too much.
I was-
He's like, get the hell out of here.
He took himself. I can't get past it. I just can't. I can't.
I mean, I heard it, so I heard players just blasting him, and I was like, okay, this is not like Joe Flacco took himself out of the game. Joe Flacco, who runs, he drops 3 yards back. Richardson actually runs a lot, but still, he took himself out of the game.
There are guys that would kill to be in that position.
Oh God, yeah.
And the Colts haven't given up on him yet. Let's just be clear.
They're
I think
rolling with the
they're
next
I think they're kind of unfortunately married to each other at the moment. I got lucky. I'm not married to Levis, which is terrific.
heck
I don't owe him a lot of money. anything. So
you shouldn't even want to be engaged to Levis. You shouldn't even want to be in an open relationship with Will Levis. You should let Will Levis go right now. That shouldn't be even a friends with benefits situation. Just let Will Levis go.
I would love to. I have no
You
qualms.
already know. No commitment.
Look. They gave him all season to get his head right, and he didn't do it. So it's done. It's over.
I betted against you guys so much. I love you, Sam, but I bet against the Titans
You
so much
should.
this year because
Well,
I was like, Will Levis is going to screw this game up. Watch. When
He
they
does.
switched to Mason Rudolph, I was a little worried about. I was like, oh shit, they actually might have a chance now. This guy might not throw to the other team every single game.
Mason is a career backup, and it's painfully obvious.
Oh,
But
for sure.
you just have to take it as it comes.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. I'm not super optimistic, but I do think you'll be better than 3 wins next year, if that makes you feel
if you guys get smart and you guys get a quarterback that's just competent, watch that team get to closer to 7-8 wins.
right. Because
you got defense.
I wasn't making that up. He lost us
Pollard was
5
great.
games by himself, but he lost us 5 games.
He did. And Pollard made the Cowboys look bad for a minute before Dowdle took over because he was actually pretty good for him.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyways, sorry, Millie, go ahead.
People don't understand that Pollard had a severe injury and then came back the exact same year.
He ran really well.
He wasn't getting enough. That's what I do for a living for injuries. So,
oh, you do?
Oh yeah.
I forgot about that. I don't like, sometimes we get like, especially when you guys come in the middle, I always forget to like ask what you guys do.
Yes,
I'm a teacher.
Yeah. So I'm a physical therapist. So
You're a PT?
That's pretty cool, man.
Awesome.
And you're you played you played college, right?
yes, we played.
So you think Pollard will be back to back
Yeah,
next
it'll be
year?
fine. It'll be fine. Same thing with there was another one. Brees Hall was an anomaly. He came back last year and was really good.
Oh,
But if somebody blows out their knee or has a severe fracture like they did, or an ankle dislocation, you want to give them expect 9 to 14 months, more on the 14-month side before they're really back to cooking.
What about this Jonathan Brooks, this rookie?
He's in trouble because the recurrence rate goes up every time you blow your knee out.
It's
So
the same knee.
yeah. So he's at risk for a third.
Plus Hubbard took over that job, so he's gonna have to steal the job too.
I feel bad for that kid, but it's likely that he'll tear it again.
What happens.
So just so you guys know what's coming up with Fun Football. Fridays I'm going to be rotating guests. Bill will be on every now and then, but I don't think he'll be doing the show regularly anymore. So I'll be rotating guests on Friday nights. That's Fun Football. On Tuesday, I think we're actually going to be bringing on a fun guest that won the Eliminator League, or I'm just saying sports podcast will be coming on soon. So, but regardless, Matt will have a grand time with me if the Packers lose. If not, I'm gonna have just so much fun because that'll be 2 years in a row we upset the number 2 seed. So we'll see. But other than that, in February I'll probably take a little break and I'll come back with some basketball content for you guys. I'm excited, and it'll be mock draft season, so it's gonna be lots of fun.
Yeah.
But hopefully we get a fun playoff run here, guys. I'm hoping that this weekend is close games. And thank you to the people actually watching 3 hours in. You're doing something right when you got people in the comments at 3 hours. So thanks, RevTrev, for watching. He rocks. He puts on a great show, guys. Packer content. Jason's been hanging out with me a lot of Fridays. He'll be on again soon. Mr. First Down in the comments and on the show.
Busy man.
Damian, you suck. Wait, hold on. Let me put the comment back up. You suck.
Hey.
All Green Bay's, all they're going to have is basketball after this weekend. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Chris, thanks for watching, dude. I'm worried the Lions are unstoppable, but I think that they actually are. That defense is a little susceptible. They're going to lose. I don't know. Janae, thanks for watching. Sports SP, and obviously Cowboy Reg rocks. And there was other people in the comments in the beginning. The wife was watching. She's saying Eagles all the way. So we'll see. But thank you guys for Millie, Sam. Thanks for coming and hanging out. This was a blast, guys. Sam, it was nice to meet you finally. Millie, it was good to see you again, dude.
Yeah, it was okay.
It was like a 4 out of 10.
It was an experience. Yeah.
It was.
He'll be back on. I hope.
I have duct tape, and you're like, all right, Sam, let's talk about this.
I'll hop on your show and with you and Bodkins. That'll be entertaining.
Oh, God.
That'll be something.
It's just him abusing me the entire time, but sure.
You're used to this. I'm actually way nicer. Oh wow.
Goodness. Yeah, you got that right. Anyway.
There we go. Haters are going to hate Isaac. Yeah, well, I know. So look out for that viral video if the Packers lose. Look out for that viral Packers are going to beat the Eagles video.
I'm just going to send you eyeballs emojis just over and over.
That's the best way to get people. Is just eyeball emoji him to just
eyeball. The eyeball
over and over and over again.
It's the best one ever made. But guys, please go like and subscribe to Millie Goats. He's getting really close to 10K on Twitter. And go like and subscribe his show. Sam, Mr. First Down, has multiple shows. Go check out LTS.
I'm a busy man.
Yeah, he's got a bunch. And Dad will be on here with me and just hanging out. And please go help me hit 700. And I appreciate you guys listening. This episode will be on Spotify. I've been throwing them back on there for Millie. He asked, but not just him. Others asked too.
I'm glad. Glad.
Yeah,
glad.
I was like, you know what?
Glad, I say. Glad.
No, I had a couple others ask, and I was like, fine, I'll do it. So it'll be on tomorrow.
Good.
It's going to take a minute. It's 3 hours worth. So it's like a Lord of the Rings movie. This is a fellowship.
I love that movie.
I know, right? But anyways, guys.
Could have ended it after the first one.
What? Are you kidding me?
Okay, I got to hear this take, but.
The giant birds. What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean? The Rohirrim charging it to turn it off. Turn the show off.
Are you saying the whole?
God dang it!
I'll never forget it.
Okay, I want to hear that take, but damn, I don't know. I don't know if I want to hear that take.
I don't want to hear the take. No, do that.
That's like one of my favorite movies of all time. I love it. All right.
I love it. I'm not saying I didn't like it. I just
you're saying the whole story could have ended after the first one?
Every time I got to the end of the movie, I'm like, man, there's another valley they got to go over. Damn it.
Hey, the second one had some more battles. My dad's take on these movies really quick. It's the best. He's like, I just fall asleep every time.
Yeah,
I'm so hurt by this. It hurts
I know. Me and my wife love Lord of the Rings.
So you got my Titan stuff right here, right now is Star Wars and Lord of the Rings stuff, and I'm not even joking.
I wish you could flip the camera, but yeah,
I got a lappy lap. Hold on. Let me see. Can't believe we're doing this. We're doing it live. Okay. Let me see.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Star Wars. Let me move the halo light here around. All right. So there's Star Wars. And then there's Batman and Thor. And God, this is really dumb. This is bad content. Anyway. So
this is great. We've got like 400 people watching too.
Yeah, great. So there's Lord of the Rings right over there, Guardians of the Galaxy, and my 85-inch TV, which I love so very much.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So that's all I got so far, though.
I love it, man. All I got is we live with family. I'm poor, but we have Packer flags. There you go. I
love
for
it.
the show. This one's really cool. My wife actually found this online. I was like, that's kind of weird, but I like it. And then, the other one. I got one for work too, so it's pretty cool. But I got some podcasting gear because I was like, man, I'm going to be doing this for a minute. I've gone through
3 hours and 1 minute.
Yep. Exactly. One of my family members died last year, still did the show. My wife had an accident.
Whoa,
so I had to take some breaks. Yeah, but I enjoy doing it. So hopefully the Packers go on a deep playoff run. That's my hope. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Dad, you are a trooper for staying around for 3 hours. I owe you big time. Millie, you rock. Go check out his show. Sam, you rock. I'm happy I got to meet you finally. And Millie, I'm happy you came back on. Yes. We should do this panel again. And thank you, everybody, for watching. This is Fun Football Podcast. I'll see you guys next week.